It's time to wake up with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
Hey, well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take him out! This is the morning roast on 95.7 The Game.
Jimmy Garoppolo is back. And oh, baby, what a show this is going to be. It's going to be Langford, Bonte, Craig, Lupman, the Roasters, YouTube, Twitch, the Comcast Business Text Line, 888-957-9570. That's the Comcast Business Text Line. That is the hotline. I want to hear from everybody because at 2:22 p.m. West Coast time yesterday, Adam Schefter sent out a tweet that shocked not only the Bay Area, but the football world. When Adam Schefter tweeted, Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers, agreed to a restructured one-year contract that will keep the quarterback in San Francisco this season. The contract contains no trade and no tag clauses, assuring Garoppolo will remain in San Francisco this season and have the freedom to leave in 2023. Now, Langford, we got more information. Garoppolo's one-year restructured deal is worth $6.5 million in base, fully guaranteed, per sources. He has another total of $500,000 in roster bonuses. He also has playtime bonuses that can boost it another $9 million. So 1 year, $7 million, up to just shy of $16 million. With all that said, we're going to regurgitate that information all show long. It's going to be regurgitated all day long on 95.7 The Game. Jimmy Garoppolo is back with the 49ers. And Langford, before we set this all up, I just want to know where you were, what you did when you found out the news.
So I was trying to take a nap. I was falling asleep. I put on Planet Earth. Love Planet Earth. It's on HBO right now. I'm watching some mountain goats. You know, I'm watching impalas being attacked by cheetahs. Somehow that helps me fall asleep. And I look at my phone, and then I see the tweet from Schefter. And, you know, I'm so glad that Twitter notifications are around.
Yeah.
Because if beforehand, remember when Twitter notifications weren't a thing? Mm-hmm. And you always get these tweets from like a darn Schefner.
Right.
Or something like that.
Fake account.
A fake account. But now it was real. I mean, I got the notification, and then instantly I went onto YouTube and I went live on our station, searched up 95.7 The Game, searched live on YouTube, and I wanted to see what Steiny and Guru's reaction was since they were still on the air. And the first thing that I saw was Guru with a big ass smile on his face, going, "I was right." So that's where I was. That's what I was doing. I was trying to take a nap. Obviously, didn't fall asleep for the rest of the show, for the rest of the day. So didn't get that daily nap in that you need when you work the mornings. But that's where I was, man. What about you, Bonte? Where were you when you heard the news?
Well, by the way, a lot of people on the 209 on the Comcast Business Text Line, YouTube, that open did slap.
It did.
You need to bring that back at 8 o'clock. It slapped. It brought me to life. So where was I?
Yes.
So I got through working out in Orange Theory. Shout out to Orange Theory. And the instructor Gabe, he was instructing the class, happens to be a big fan of the roast. I'm struggling doing push-ups and planks. Struggling.
Nice.
Right? I burned about 1,000 calories. No brag, no humble, a little something.
Wow.
I was getting it in.
Oh, feel free, man.
Gabe's like, "Hey, I love the roast. I heard you in Langford this morning. Shasky, you guys get me through my mornings, man." So I'm like, damn, okay, that's cool, right? My instructor is a roaster. Go home, hit the hot tub because the hammy's feeling tight, Langford. The hammy is feeling tight.
By the way, was he telling you this like in the middle of you doing push-ups and struggling to go?
I was sitting down. Heart rate is going through the roof. And so I'm like, right on. So I go to the house.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Anna, and I'm like, I'm about to go hit the jacuzzi. So I'm talking to Big Dog City. I go hit the jacuzzi.
Nice.
And I happen to be in there by myself. And I'm sitting in there. I'm like, all right, I've been in here for about 30 minutes. In and out, in and out. Go to my phone because I'm about to hit the pool, get that cold water in my system.
Right.
And I look at the phone, and it's like a slot machine. Alert, 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 alert. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, boy.
And the first text I see is from Shasky and Rocco.
Of course.
Unreal. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? And it was the bombshell of Jimmy Garoppolo remaining with the 49ers. And I tell Shasky, I said, you know what? Let's go IG Live right now.
Yeah.
I need you right now. And he's in the river. He's going to join us at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Because I think the people need to hear from him.
Or is it 8 o'clock or 8:30?
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8
Okay.
o'clock.
Cool.
8 a.m. Shasky would join us. Baldy would join us at 7:30.
There you go.
We hopped on IG Live, and I was just stunned. I was just absolutely stunned that we're going to be talking about Jimmy Garoppolo for at least another 6 months.
Yeah.
At least. I was bewildered. Now, I have plenty of thoughts because, first of all, shout out to everybody in San Bruno. Hopefully you're safe. A lot of power outages last night. So my power was out from 6 p.m. on. I didn't get to watch a pitch of the Giants. I was just kind of following with spotty Wi-Fi.
You didn't miss much.
We didn't miss much. They lost again. They're done. They're cooked. Lights went out there. Hell, the season went out there. They're done. See you later. You may not be talked about until opening day because for the next 9 months, Niners and Warriors content is going to be through the roof. It's going to be absolute flames.
That Giants game was very symbolic. Yeah, so you were in a hot tub
I was
doing
in a
an
hot
IG
tub.
Live with Shasky.
IG Live in the hot tub. Giving the people what they want. Worldwide Hef hit me. He's like, yo, that's the raw and authentic stuff you need.
Yeah, respect.
Because, I said this on the IG Live. When the Niners moved up to number 3 to trade with the Miami Dolphins to select Trey Lance and move up to number 3 overall, it broke 3 minutes after their morning roast. Remember that? We signed off and it broke.
Yes.
Steiny and Goo got that nugget.
Yeah.
I said, damn it. It's a Cowboy fan and a guy who loves basketball.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Steiny watches football.
I'll be honest, because I'd worked in the boardings for a long time, and that was like that happens a lot.
That
when
happens
when you're working in boardings,
That
like
happens a lot.
a lot of news breaks after your boarding show. So when that happened with you guys, I was like, welcome to the boarding show.
so yeah, welcome to the morning show. And then it broke yesterday, and I said, damn it, and I said this on the IG Live. How the hell did Steiny and Guru get that nugget again? That's the gift from the heavens. Slow day. We're waiting for cut down day.
It's true, huh?
I ran into Matt Nahigan as I walked out yesterday, our program director, and Matt Nahigan was like, so, what do you think you want to do with the Jimmy angle? What do you want to do? Like, it's probably going to get cut. Langford, mind you, we recorded voicemails back in May
Yep.
about our best memories of Jimmy Garoppolo. And I remember saying on my voicemail, Jimmy has been real. It's been good. You're a good Niner. Sayonara.
Bro, how many texts did we get? Not only on the pregame show from 5 to 6, Monday through Friday. Check it out.
Check it out.
Not only on that, but on the morning roast too. Whenever you'd bring up Jimmy Garoppolo, you'd get on the Comcast business text line, or you'd sometimes get calls where they'd say, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't even on the team anymore. Yeah. Why are we talking about him? People were convinced that he wasn't even on the team, that it was just, he's going to get cut.
So, 888-957-9570. We're going to get into it all. I have so many questions about the situation.
Yeah.
The shock of the move. Is this a big-time blunder for the 49ers? Is this a great move? Is it an indictment on Trey Lance?
There's a lot.
Maybe Trey Lance isn't ready.
Also,
is it an indictment on the backup quarterback situation, Brock Purdy and Nate Sudfeld?
When was this decision made? When was this decision made? Like, because, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but we've heard everything to he's not practicing with the team. He doesn't have a playbook. Well, he definitely has a playbook now.
Yeah.
Like, everything. Cam Inman. I remember Cam Inman, he was on Damon and Ratto last week and definitively said, Jimmy's not going to be with this team. And when Cam Inman says something like that, when a guy like Cam Inman loves the 49ers and knows the ins and outs of the 49ers, very positive when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, he said, there's no way Jimmy's on the team. Like, don't even talk about it. There's no point.
We just had Jerry Rice on yesterday.
Jerry Rice said that.
Move on.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You don't need him. And look, I feel you, 925 Comcast Business Text Line. He says, this is the worst thing to happen to sports talk radio. I disagree. The best thing to happen to sports talk radio is the chaos that is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
We thought last season was a roller coaster. I already feel like it's been week 9. I'm already exhausted, Langford. We haven't played a single game.
Well, there's another question. Is it going to be a roller coaster? Or is it strictly, you know what? Garoppolo's the backup and that's it. He's just the backup. Let's focus on Trey. There's going to be a lot of that outside chatter, but is that outside chatter going to come into play? Or is Trey going to play so well this season in his first season when he's the starter that you don't even think about Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not even a conversation.
Man.
Like, there are a lot of questions that need to be answered this season in regards to the quarterback position.
Man.
And we're already getting calls right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Line them up. 888-957-9570.
I mean, just think about the timeline, man.
The timeline. I mean,
I remember driving up here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm driving up here after that Rams game, after the NFC Championship. Driving up here, I have this little method that I do where I listen to the press conferences on my way up, just so just so they're fresh. You know what I mean? I got a site that I go to, and
Right.
I stream all the conferences. And I heard Jimmy Garoppolo after that Rams game, and him just say, "You know what? It's been great. See ya. I love you guys. See ya." Oh, man, what a classy move that was by Jimmy, knowing that he's probably not going to be with the team next year. Then you follow that up. You get to the draft, and it looks like John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, when they're speaking to the media, they look like they're pretty well set on Trey Lance. Trey Lance is going to be the guy. All right. No, Jimmy, this is real. Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be there. Oh, he's not practicing in training camp. Let's fast forward to training camp. Oh, he's not practicing with the team. Oh, he's practicing off with the side. Yeah, he doesn't even have a playbook. He's going to get cut. You know, you have the surgery in the meantime. You thought he was going to get traded. I'm going all over the place here. I'm doing nonlinear storytelling.
you're right.
I'm the Quentin Tarantino of sports radio right now. But no, man, I just can't believe it.
What is it, the Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme, where the guy's like, here,
Yes,
there,
Pepe
there,
Sylvia.
everywhere?
Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah. That's what this is.
Yeah.
That's what this is. They said everything. I mean, it's just, all right, so we can start off with this one. Nick, Chuck, Lamar, we're going to start you guys off. We're going to get this rolling. Because I want to hear from the fan base. Niner fans are going to be divided about this. I already seen this. I already saw F. John Lynch tweets. I already saw Thank John Lynch tweets. Thank Shanahan, F. Shanahan, Trey stinks, Telegraph. I heard a nickname yesterday from my boy Savino. Savino said, you know what? This is smart because Telegraph Trey can't get it done. Called him Telegraph Trey, meaning that he's going to telegraph every pass to a defender. What? Like, the shockwaves of this move of Jimmy being back here. Again, Jimmy Garoppolo yesterday at 2:22, Adam Schefter reported that Jimmy Garoppolo restructured his deal down to $6.5 million in the base. He could earn up to $16 million. He was due $24.2 million this year. He would have been guaranteed that by September 10th. Well, he's back on the squad, and he's going to be at practice today. He hasn't been in the meeting rooms.
Right.
I don't think he necessarily is going to need a lot of time to catch up on the playbook because he's been in the system for so long.
That's why I can't wait to talk to Baldy at 7:30. I want to ask him, like, how big of a deal is that? Because everyone's saying, well, he doesn't have a playbook. They're already starting him off at a disadvantage. It's like he's been with the team for damn near 5 years. It's like, is it really that big of a disadvantage to not have the playbook through training camp?
Right. So we're going to get into everything. Whether or not, I want to get this take off before we get to the calls. Because I do think Donnie and Jimmy Garoppolo, they were brilliant in how they operated. And what I mean by that is they knew their only leverage left with the 49ers was to get the surgery. To get the surgery knowing that, hey, teams know we can't throw until June, maybe late July. Nobody's really going to trade for you knowing that you can't throw. And knowing that the 49ers are stacked with Super Bowl talent, championship talent, this is the best situation for us. We may not be ready to leave here. So them leveraging that surgery, knowing that the market is going to dry up for them in terms of trades, and saying, yeah, you know what? We've already banked over $100 million with the 49ers. That's before taxes, of course. We possibly could either stay with the 49ers or they're going to have to cut us and we could pick a team we go to. But as far as getting traded, they don't have much wiggle room, meaning the 49ers.
Right.
And remember, we were on this in April. I was saying, you know what? Everybody keeps talking about Cleveland and Seattle or Carolina. He can't throw.
Right.
Nobody's going to trade for that. He can't build a rapport with the wide receivers, the tight ends, the offense, the meeting rooms. He can't throw. So why would a team trade for a guy who can't throw until late summer?
Yeah, once the Steelers went to Mitchell Trubisky, you kind of knew, all right, really where Jimmy Garoppolo's better than Mitch Trubisky. Like, why is there's clearly no market for him here in terms of a trade. But, you know, going back to the deal that he got now, like you asked me yesterday, and, you know, we asked this question maybe like once a week, because it feels like it's just a question you have to ask. Do we feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is still going to be with this team? There's certain reports that come out. There's certain things that happened with other teams. Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is still going to be with the 49ers? And my answer was no. But if you would have told me that you would have shaved off like damn near $16 million
it's a lot.
off that contract and restructured it. Someone asked us yesterday, can they restructure it? And we asked, well, why would they do that? He's already making that
Right.
$24 million possibly this year. Why would he restructure? Well, clearly there wasn't another team that was going to be willing to pay him whatever the 49ers are paying him
Right.
right now. I'm sure they, scoped the landscape, got some thoughts from other teams. I'm sure Don Yee was talking to other teams like the Seahawks. I don't know which other teams would be involved, to
Yup.
be honest with you.
Yup.
And they probably said, you know what, we don't really have the funds right now, because teams like the Seahawks and teams like the Giants didn't have a lot left in their salary cap in order to pay somebody. So I'm sure they got some sort of price and said,
Yup.
you know what, we might as well stick around here because we're not going to make any more money anywhere else. And plus, you're going to be the backup on a team that can be playoff bound even despite the quarterback.
No doubt. And does it make the 49ers stronger? There's no doubt. Jimmy's the best backup quarterback in the league.
Yes.
There's no doubt. I don't dispute that. And I think mentally, Trey Lance is okay with Jimmy Garoppolo being the backup. I don't think he's going to look over his shoulder. It's going to be the outside noise, the fan base,
Yeah.
the media,
That's it.
the broadcasters. If Trey struggles, we're going to hear Jimmy. So there's a lot here to get to. Let's go to the calls. So let's start off with the calls. Let's go to Nick in Berkeley. We'll get to Lamar and Hayward. 888-957-9570. Just your initial thoughts, raw and uncut. What do you think about Jimmy Garoppolo being back with the 49ers? Nick, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, you guys? Man, I was shocked, bewildered, confused, and then I started thinking, man, it could be as a backup, and in case Trey gets knocked out for a few plays, we don't want some bum in there, fumbling and trying to throw a pass and it gets to get pick six or whatever. But I'm just like, man, Jimmy, you got to go, man, because like as soon as the first incomplete pass or first interception by Trey at Levi's, like you said, Bonte, it's going to be Jimmy. Man, let the young kids. I mean, couldn't we have like swapped a draft pick or something like that to get a receiver? I mean, come on, Lynch, do something. I mean, you're the general manager. You and Shanahan, you guys are supposed to be, turning the screws on these other teams, man. You got to wiggle them out of there and get us a wide receiver to help the youngster. But man, I don't know, man. It's just that $9 million play time,
Incentive
bonus or whatever.
Yeah.
That thing's creepy to me. I don't know what that. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, the no trade clause.
I love that. I love that. I don't even know what that means.
Look, the incentive latent deal.
Me too.
Jimmy has to play to get most of this money. That's what it is. And Shasky asked me during the IG Live, do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have over under 75? What was it? 75 pass attempts or 75 completions? I think Jimmy's going to play at some point this year. I truly do.
Really?
I think he's going to play, man. That's my feeling.
Interesting.
That's my feeling. Let's get to Lamar and Hayward real quick, Langford, before the break. Yeah. Lamar, what's happening? You're on the roast.
How y'all doing?
What's up, Lamar?
Yo, I completely disagree with you, Vontae. I think that as far as how the agent played it, he ended up taking a $16 million pay cut to stay with the Niners. As far as if he wouldn't have announced the injury, he might have been traded already unless they knew for sure it wasn't a trade market.
Right.
And you guys forget that the Niners allowed Jimmy and his agent to look for a trade partner. So who's to say the restructure isn't just what the team that's willing to trade for Jimmy?
Yeah, I just don't know, Lamar. I just don't know if a team was willing to take on $24 million in salary for Jimmy Garoppolo. I just don't know. There's only Cleveland was like the one team that had all the cap space.
Yeah, Cleveland was the only team. If Deshaun was suspended for the entire season, then I was thinking, well, the Browns would maybe find that worth it to actually trade for that entire deal. But they didn't. Like, if they were to, like, you know what? I know we got so much time and we got a lot of callers who want to weigh in, so I want to give the listeners as much time as well to get their thoughts in on it as well. But I think that if they were just to let him go and he goes to the Seahawks, man, that's a high risk, no reward move. Right. And the risk being you give Jimmy Garoppolo 2 chances to possibly beat you during the regular season.
Fine.
And it's just like,
see the move. I don't. Everybody fears Jimmy Garoppolo going to Seattle. Not everybody, but they have 2 rookie offensive tackles
for sure. Charles Cross is about to be a beast, though.
He is going to be a beast. He's going to be a beast. They're good, but they're rookies.
Yeah.
Got number 97, Nick Bosa, coming off the edge.
For sure.
Good luck, Nick. Good luck, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Good luck.
The offensive lines in the NFC West are actually all kind of mediocre.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, more coming up. 888-957-9570. Jimmy Garoppolo's back with the 49ers. What's your thoughts? We're going to peel this onion all show long. Shasky joins us at 8 o'clock from the Russian River. Baldy joins us at 7:30 via Zoom. What the heck is going on in 49er land? Anthony and San Leandro and the rest of you on hold. Stay on hold. We will get to you. The YouTube and Twitch line are on fire right now. Jimmy Garoppolo is back with the 49ers, and that's what we're talking about on the Morning Roast, sponsored by Chilton Auto Body.
The New York Yankees have had major struggles at the plate, to put it lightly, in the month of August. Here's how you cash in from their swoon. The Yankees are 16-5-1 to the under in their last 22 games. The Yanks have been shut out 5 times during that stretch and scored 2 or less another 7 times. That's what we call a suspect offense. So peep those New York totals and bet them to go under, because these Yankees are ice cold. I'm Trista Crick, helping you get the books.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples 1-subject notebooks are just 35 cents each. Plus, during the backpack clearance event, you'll save up to 50% on select backpacks, lunch bags, and water bottles. Staples, this year we're not going back. We're going forward to school. In-store only, ends 9/3, limit 30 on notebooks.
Have you been in a car accident? Chilton Auto Body has 15 convenient Bay Area locations to help restore your vehicle to pre-accident condition. Chilton Auto Body is also actively hiring for all positions. For more details, head to ChiltonAutoBody.com, the Bay Area's leader in collision repair.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like Square Pizza. That place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo? The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so.
Order up!
You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake and tire replacements, oil changes, and much more. It's the ultimate convenience. Easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrivals, and service right in your driveway. No waiting rooms and direct access to your mechanic with friendly and reliable service. No middleman or upsells. They're so sure you'll love the convenience. Take $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. Kirby, your driveway mechanic.
Live on DAZN pay-per-view, September 17th, Part 3. Canelo versus Triple G. To take the trilogy, Bad Blood, a score to settle, controversy, brutality, pure hostility. For victory, for history, for the trilogy. Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin. September 17th, live on DAZN pay-per-view. Visit DAZN.com.
Come on, we're going to be late to the cookout. I was just packing up my famous mac and cheese. I hope you packed the Pepto, too. Huh? Pepto-Bismol provides fast relief from heartburn and indigestion. You know, that uncomfortable feeling after you eat too much? And after the deviled eggs, baked beans, and barbecue ribs? You're going to need it. Barbecue ribs? I should probably pack an extra shirt, too. Good call.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples Associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 10/1. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Have you ever hired a commercial painting company, then been stuck managing your own project? Hi, this is Matt Jesse, president of MB Jesse Painting. We know how busy you are and that you need professional painters who are actually professionals. My team has the experience, training, and credentials to get the job done. If you've been waiting for the right time to paint, this is it. Call 855-MB-JESSE today or visit us online at mbjesse.com.
MB Jesse.
When back to the office means back in traffic,
Blocking the 3 right lanes, multiple emergency crews on the scene.
you can rely on your Northern California Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
On the shoulder now, so that's good. Traffic is getting by.
From your traffic leader, KCBS.
Long weekends are all about getting a little you time. And at the Home Depot, you time means you building, you drilling, you doing, you recharging, you saving, and you going back for more. Do Labor Day your way and get a free 18-volt battery with select Milwaukee Power Toolkit purchases at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
TracFone wants to know, are you an influencer, a big live streamer? No? Then guess what? You don't need an endless data plan. Get just the right amount of data with TracFone's $40 unlimited talk and text smartphone plan. Now with 8 gigs of high-speed data and unlimited carryover on America's largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. Get the data you need at the price you want. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. 5G compatible device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
I love Law & Order because it's the same episode every single time.
John Mulaney is bringing The Lost back to the Bay Area, September 17th at the Concord Pavilion. For your shot at tickets, listen to Willard and Dibbs every morning this week at 10:30.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Jimmy's back. Jimmy's back. 888-957-9570. Like it, love it, hate it. What's your thought, roasters? What's your thoughts on this? 888-957-9570. Stephen Langford, nice guy in for Joe Shasky, the Butcher. Although the Butcher Boy will join us at 8 a.m. live from the Russian River. Told him he had to come on the show. We got to get his raw reaction. I got a glimpse of it during the IG Live. Yeah. Just cutting up some garlic, barbecuing. He was in a very good mood. Very good mood.
Yeah. I might get 6 words in the 8 o'clock hour.
No,
maybe 7.
I'll fall back. I'm going to fall back. I fall back. I fall back. I'm not going to hog the mic. I'm more chasing kids. Shasky's Russell Westbrook.
Oh, it's more so just talking Shasky. It's not so much you. I'm talking about Shasky. Come on, man. He's coming on at 8 o'clock. He's talking Jimmy G.
Yeah, he's going to go on a 5-minute rant. There's no doubt about that. Don't forget this segment is presented by Golden State Lumber. Lumber and building materials for professional builders and contractors throughout Northern California. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Let's get to Anthony in San Leandro. Anthony, what's happening? You're on a roast.
What's up? Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good.
So I just heard the news this morning. I was off yesterday, had some doctor's appointment with the wife or whatnot, so I was off of everything. I didn't hear about nothing until this morning on the show before you guys come on. But I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because all I want is the Niners to win. And I'm tired of hearing fans going Jimmy or Trey and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Like, at the end of the day, we just want them to win. I've always thought that Jimmy getting the surgery at the end of the season was a power play. I called before, and I said that because I said that it would put the Niners in a predicament to where they had to either keep him or let him go. But it would always be a power play for Jimmy, and we see how it pans out. The only thing I will say about Jimmy is it does show that even, you know, he took a big pay cut to stay. So it shows a lot about him and where he is. But at the end of the day, it also cornered the Niners in to where they had to keep him because they didn't want to cut him. And I never understood with the fear of him going to other teams because if he's not that good, so they say or so they think, who really gives a darn? But I also want to just say this thing. I think it really looks bad on the Niners, man. Like, I know we want to say that, like, they handle their business right and they're the model organization, but I'm not sure, man, because they botch a lot of stuff. Back when the Buckner trade happened, I know we over that now, but I feel like they handled this wrong. So I really don't care. I just want the Niners to win. But
well said, Anthony. Well said.
You know, so we haven't really answered this yet, but did you like the move? You like Jimmy Garoppolo staying here as a backup. We didn't really talk about that in the first segment.
No, we didn't, because there's a lot to get
There's a lot to get to, man.
I mean, there's so many layers.
Yeah, just as simple. Did you like the move?
But honestly, we've kind of had this conversation since the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Kalish asking Mr. Charles Schwab.
Yep.
Said, would you bring Jimmy as a backup?
Yeah.
Bring him back as a backup. A lot of people want him just gone, out the building,
right?
Move on. Because the talking point was, well, it's not fair to Trey Lance to look over his shoulder. It's the same thing a couple years ago when the Niners, when I was thinking, should they look into Cam Newton or a backup quarterback? And people say, well, no, it's not fair to Jimmy to look over his shoulder. Well, if you have to look over your shoulder, then you shouldn't be my starting quarterback. I need you to be mentally strong. And that's one area I think Trey Lance is. I think he's mentally stable and strong, and he can handle this situation. Now, it's not ideal for a young quarterback like him who's 22 years old. This is a different beast playing quarterback for the 49ers. And if you struggle, the rumblings, week 1, week 2, week 3, a 3-game stretch in November, it's going to get louder and louder and louder.
Yeah.
And the Jimmy chance will happen. Now, it's not about pitting Jimmy versus Trey, as Anthony said. I'm with them there. It's all about the 49ers winning games. However you win games, you win games. That's why I didn't mind Jimmy Garoppolo in 2019 and 2021. They found a way to win games. Games. That's all I care about. Throw it 8 times in a game, 40 times in a game. Did you win the ball game? Did you have more points than the other team? That's at the end of the day, that's all it's about. But it's a good damn move because I told you Friday, Langford, Brock Purdy stinks. Sudfeld stinks. And if you need them to win a game during a 3-game stretch,
you're screwed.
You're screwed. You're not winning a game. They're not NFL quarterbacks. I'm sorry. Brock Purdy and Sudfeld stink. So what's up with Jimmy Garoppolo? You can't trade him? Would he take a pay cut? I think that's the biggest surprise there. But all in all, the quarterback room is strong. Garoppolo's a damn good backup quarterback.
I don't know how you could be pessimistic about this move going into this season. Like the most pessimism I have about this move, because if anyone's heard,
right,
you know, like nobody hears my opinions, but if anyone's heard what I've been saying about this, if anyone,
give yourself more credit. Hold on.
Yeah.
Give yourself more credit. Nice guy, you're a factor.
Hey man, it's hard from 5 to 6 people to wake up.
People. I see the text line. People rock with you.
But
stop that.
I'll say this though. I was not a big fan of bringing Jimmy back to this team.
Yeah.
And this was during training camp. This is when Nate Sudfeld and Brock Purdy were still there, and this is when I hadn't seen them play in an actual game. You know, preseason games, for those backups, like they get a lot of reps. You could tell who a quarterback is based on those preseason games, especially the backups. And what I saw from Nate Sudfeld and Brock Purdy, I'm going into it thinking, man, if one of those guys is backing you up, you sure as hell aren't winning a game.
Wow.
See? Like I saw, and I thought about that. Would you still want Jimmy back? And also, it wasn't just Trey Lance. It wasn't Trey Lance who I was thinking about in terms of like the distraction. I was just thinking for the team as a whole.
Right.
Him just practicing on the sideline took up part of the conversation. This whole thing with the Chronicle and the Jimmy vanishing reports, that took up a lot of the conversation. I just thought during the season, you don't want any of that outside noise, and you're going to be getting that outside noise, but how can I argue and say, well, you know what, they would have been better off with Nate Sudfeld or Brock Purdy as the backup, and that's it. I can't say that. A lot of it is predicated on if Trey Lance doesn't play as well as Kyle Shanahan and the team wants him to.
Right.
It's big ifs, and ifs that I don't even know if they could happen or not. And I don't even know if it's fair to base an opinion just on ifs. But it's all if Trey Lance doesn't perform. If Trey Lance gets injured, then Jimmy Garoppolo comes out there. And let's just say they do get to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. Let's just say that happens, because I'm seeing a lot of that yesterday. Well, now they have the insurance to bring him in case Trey Lance struggles or gets injured, and now they have a chance at really making the playoffs.
Right.
Well, if they make the playoffs and they make the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, are they simply going to just let him walk and test free agency?
Yeah.
Like, is it really going to be that simple? Like, you know how movies go, Bonte?
Oh, yeah.
Movies,
No doubt.
it's like you think Bullet Train. I just watched Bullet Train, that movie with Brad Pitt, right? you think, all right, simple. Just grab the suitcase, get off the train. That's all it's supposed to be. But all of this stuff happens within the middle of the movie that makes it a little harder to just take that briefcase off the train. Like, movies just don't simply go, well, you know what? They have a better chance of making the playoffs now. And once they make the playoffs, if they do that, then they'll test free agency in 2023. Is it really going to be that simple?
No,
the
I don't
NFL's
think
a movie,
so.
man.
I don't think so. You're spot on with that analogy. It's not going to be that simple. It's not going to be that simple, folks. Who loves it? Who hates it? Marcus in San Francisco, we get to you on the other side. 888-957-9570. Jimmy Garoppolo is back. Did you hate it? Do you love it? Is this a good move? Is it an indictment on Trey? There's so many questions we haven't even had answered. And I don't even know if we have the answers. We're going to hear from Shanahan later today. Maybe he gives us some answers down in Santa Clara. Whatever the case is, we've got action with the 49ers. We haven't even made it to week 1 yet. It's not even week 1 yet. Langford, it's not even week 1 yet. I'm already exhausted.
I thought he was going to be cut.
Unbelievable.
I thought he was going to be gone.
Unbelievable. More coming up on the Morning Roast.
Gorgeous gaming, stunning streams, unbelievable bandwidth. It's another Lifestyles of Gagillionaires. Meet the AT&T Fiber customers winning at life with hyper gig speeds. Meet Gagillionaire Terry. While his love of streaming horror movies has him constantly on the edge of his seat, his internet bill won't give him a scare.
Oh, don't go in there. I'm telling you.
Because since Terry upgraded to AT&T Fiber with hyper gig speeds, he doesn't worry about data caps or equipment fees.
Come on, man. The door's open for a reason.
And best yet, he also doesn't stress about a price increase at 12 months, because with the amazing Gagillionaire lifestyle comes an exquisite sense of tranquility. Most of the time. Live like a Gagillionaire. Get straightforward pricing with AT&T Fiber. Internet that upgrades everything. No data caps, no equipment fees, and no price increase at 12 months.
Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/hypergig for details.
Elise and Carl's Bakery needed a small business loan fast, but instead of going to On Deck, Carl called
Lone Falcon!
Really? Carl?
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to OnDeck.com. Then if approved, get your loan as soon as the same day. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to GetRefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
Doors and loading dock equipment are a crucial part of your business, and one you probably don't think much about until they break. A broken door or dock leveler can be a real security threat, along with disturbing the flow of goods in your business. Luckily, RNS is here for all your commercial door, dock, and gate needs. From overhead doors and security shutters to fire-rated and personal doors, RNS can provide your business with safety and security. Call 800-FIX-A-DOOR to schedule a free estimate or visit rsdoors.com. RNS Doors. Look for the red truck.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Castrol Edge Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every tank. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Golfers, tee it up this year at the Golf Mart for the hottest new arrivals from Callaway. Featuring the new Rogue ST drivers, Callaway's most stable driver ever, with tungsten speed cartridge, jailbreak speed frame, and AI flash face. Engineered for max speed and forgiveness. 4 different models to fit every golfer's needs. Think speed, go Rogue. Swing by the Golf Mart and get custom fit for the new Rogue ST drivers today. The Golf Mart, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Neuropathy pain? Call Dr. Robert Dees, DC, 925-393-0100.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
At Churches, we put it all on the table for less. Get 10-piece legs and thighs, 2 large size, 5 honey butter biscuits, and 5 jalapeno peppers starting at just $20. Churches Texas Chicken. Welcome to the great state of flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
Breaking news on 95.7 The Game is brought to you by Beat the Screen. Tips to win a $5.6 million prize. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh my God!
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Song of the summer, Jack Harlow. I get down with this. A little first class. Niners are a first class organization. And boy, do they keep things interesting. Montana Young, Alex Smith, Kaepernick. This is a great question right off the bat. 650. 650. Comcast Business Text Line. Will Trey Lance be allowed to start 3-5 like Jimmy Garoppolo did last year?
So when's the bye week? I gotta look that up. I was looking that up as I saw that text. I knew you were gonna go to it, and I was looking up the bye week as soon as I saw it.
I think it's after week 4. Is it early? Is it week 5 or is it smack?
I think it's the first week in November.
Yeah, I'm looking here. It's between the Rams and the Chargers, so it is the first week of November.
Okay.
So you're gonna have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, you're basically gonna have until that's until the bye week essentially to make that sort of decision. Well, you know what's also around the bye week is the trade deadline. Like November 1st is the trade deadline. So they have up until then really to make a decision on whether they should trade him. They probably wouldn't if they went 3-5. Man, I don't know. It depends.
I know everybody's caught up in a no trade clause, Langford, but if there's a trade partner, Russell Wilson, as we were just talking about during the break, had the no trade clause. Jimmy will waive it if there's a job open for him.
No trade clause can fool you. It's like you see no trade clause, you think automatically, oh, well, he's not going to get traded. But then all of a sudden, oh, there's a team that needs a quarterback, and there's a team who's willing to trade for him. Oh, and he wants to go there? Oh, well, we'll waive that. No problem. Just, whatever. Screw the clause. And that's why it's a clause.
Right.
So we always think automatically, oh, they're not getting traded because of the no trade clause. Not necessarily the case. I think it depends on the teammates, though. To answer that question, will Trey be allowed to start 3-5 like Jimmy was last year?
And don't forget, Trey did play week 4, I believe, or week 5 against Arizona. So he was responsible for one of those losses.
So I do think that we got to look at how the team views it. How did they lose those games? Did Trey keep them competitive within those games if they go 3-5? Again, that's a huge if. a lot of the pessimism is based on if, Fonte. A lot of it is hypotheticals.
Right.
That's what sports radio is. But it depends on how they lose those games. Is he getting the ball to Deebo Samuel?
Right.
You know, your $25
There's
million
no doubt.
your wide receiver.
There's no doubt.
Like, is George Kittle, is he getting the ball to George
Right.
Kittle?
Right.
Like, what does that look
Yep.
like? So it all depends to me on what that 3-5 season would look like, depending on what decision it would be.
You're spot on there. By the way, breaking news here with the Minnesota Vikings. Kellen Mond, former third-round pick out of Texas A&M, is getting waived by the Vikings.
Yeah.
So Kellen Mond getting waived by the Vikings. Cut down day today, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. All these teams have to get down to 53 players. And now we know Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be one of the 53 with the San Francisco 49ers. There's so much to get to. There's so many questions that we haven't answered. And I'll just throw this one here. I'll regurgitate this one right off the rip.
Yeah.
Is this an indictment on Trey Lance, quote-unquote, struggles in training camp? I read Michael Silver's piece in the San Francisco Chronicle this morning. And Michael Silver was, in his article, was saying that, the Niners are hedging their bets, which they are. They're hedging their bet just in case something happens to Trey. And that's a smart move because this is a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah.
This is a loaded roster. You have a chance to do some special things this season. But Michael Silver was discussing training camp saying that, Trey Lance is just so hot and cold. He's so hit or miss. In the preseason, he didn't play well. Well, number one, why are everybody taking the preseason so damn serious? He played 5 possessions of preseason football, of very vanilla football.
No,
they don't game plan for that.
Quarter and a half of football, Bonte. 7
Right.
of 11.
7 of 11. I mean,
Not
come
ready.
on. Not ready. So, according to some people, Trey Lance didn't look good in training camp. He hasn't impressed the 49ers brass, so they had to bring Jimmy back. I think it's the other way, and we were talking about this last Friday. You, Shasky, Lubman. After that Texans game, I came in here, I said, dude, Brock Purdy stinks. I don't get the hype. You heard the Brock, Brock Purdy throws a great ball. We heard it on the TV, Brock. I was like, dude, Brock Purdy stinks. He's not going to win you a football game. Nate Sudfeld stinks. So the backup quarterback room, they were terrible. You couldn't roll into the season with those 2 guys. So that's where Jimmy Garoppolo comes into play. It's just the way this situation has been handled. And some people say, well, Lynch and Shanahan has told us all that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be back. They also said they were looking for trade partners and going to do what's best for the 49ers. So they said both things. They kind of hedged their bet here. I don't think it's an indictment on Trey Lance whatsoever.
I don't believe so. I just believe, look, I don't think this move was premeditated. I think this move came at the very last second, right up until cutdown day. They were figuring out their options. I am fully convinced that this move was a last-second decision. It's like they got to the very end.
Yep.
They made it all the way to the end of the bridge, and they said, you know what, Jimmy? You're going to stick with our team here. We're going to go this direction. You're rolling along with us. You're not going to go along this other direction at the end of the bridge. I don't know what analogy I'm going with here, but I just watched Shrek, and I saw a bridge scene, so I'm thinking about it. But
You've watched a lot of movies lately.
I know, right? You know what I'm saying?
What the hell's going on, man?
Hey, man, I'm trying to catch up. All right, I haven't done much lately.
Yeah, I feel you. I couldn't watch the Game of Thrones Dragons yesterday because there was a blackout. My house was blacked out 6 p.m., so I'm sitting there in a house full of darkness and a flashlight on my phone thinking, well, thankfully, the Giants aren't doing anything. They lose their 5th in a row.
Yeah.
Lights go out at Oracle Park, but who cares?
Yeah.
Jimmy Deuce.
Second episode, pretty good.
Yeah,
but
right here.
But I don't think it's an indictment on Trey Lance. Not at all. I don't think that. I just think this was a move that was a necessity. And something that not a lot of people are talking about from the 510. Who is the QB3? Well,
I think they're keeping just 2 quarterbacks, just like they did last season.
No one thought that they were going to keep 2 quarterbacks. Some were going to be thinking, all right, you know what? They're going to keep Nate Sudfeld and Brock Purdy.
They're not keep Brock Purdy on the practice field, or practice squad. Hopefully, he skips through waivers and you sign him back to the practice squad.
But now this is no doubt like you are going to have 2 quarterbacks on this roster, and this opens up a roster spot for maybe a running back instead of having to hold, I don't know, 4 running backs and just 1 fullback, and Kyle Juszczyk can have 5 in the backfield. Now you can hold 6, and instead of having to cut 2 guys, which you just don't want to do right now. I don't want to cut both JaMychal Hasty and Jordan Mason. I don't want to cut Trey Sermon. I want to keep these guys on the roster to give them a chance here. We need depth so that we don't need Debo running the football out of necessity like there was last year.
He's going to run the football.
For sure, but not as much is what I'm saying.
I don't know, Langford.
Really?
I think you could be in for a surprise.
Ooh, that
could be in for a surprise.
That could be a conversation for another day.
Let's go back to the lines. 888-957-9570. What are your thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo being back? It's a simple question. Simple. You can take it wherever you want to go, callers. Is it an indictment on Trey? Is it an indictment on the backup quarterback position? Did the Niners whiff on this move? Did they blow it? Did they muff it? Is it a big gaffe by Lynch and Shanahan? What are your thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo restructuring his deal to remain with the San Francisco 49ers with a base salary of $6.5 million? Marcus in the city, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, how y'all doing today, man?
Oh, man, we're fired up. We're good, Marcus.
I think it's just that they got the kid. I mean, they got Jimmy so that the kid can have some veteranship on the sideline when he's struggling or something and can go talk to, you know what I'm saying, the dude that was just in the trenches, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of them other kids, like you said, that Brock Purdy and stuff, they garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After that Texas game, you know, Shanahan thought about it and was like, man, we need some veteranship on the sideline just in case, you know? That's what I say. What y'all think about it?
Yeah, I Marcus, I've been saying this, for a while, and I see a text here. He's getting at me. Guru called this. He said Jimmy was going to restructure and be a backup. Well, look, he probably did. But we've asked the question all offseason. Would anybody be open to Jimmy Garoppolo being the backup? And Langford, you've been with the roast every single day.
Yeah.
How many people just dismiss that? Hell no, you can't bring back Jimmy as a backup. The question was asked.
Some said that Jimmy isn't even on the team, Bonte.
I didn't think he was on the team. It's like he's on the side field throwing the football. He's gone.
Yeah.
Leave Jimmy. He's gone.
Yeah.
Well, boy, we were fooled.
We were.
We were led astray.
Look, man.
We were bamboozled.
Run amok. But I think that this whole situation, it's just going back to that Rams game and seeing the whole timeline leading up to this. I did not think he was going to be back with this team. I didn't think he was going to. But as I'm thinking about it yesterday and the move has officially happened, it really is the situation, the term win-win. It really is a win-win for both sides.
It is a win-win. It is a good look. Jimmy Garoppolo being the backup. I'm not mad at that.
Right.
I'm not mad at that at all. I just want to know if the fan base is going to be patient. Is the media going to be patient if Trey struggles? Because he's not going to get the leeway that Jimmy Garoppolo received last season. Jimmy Garoppolo is a veteran. He's a veteran. Trey Lance is a young quarterback. He struggles right out of the gate, and this fan base wants that Lombardi. This fan base is so thirsty for that trophy. And if they get up to a slow start, think about this. They lose to Chicago with Justin Fields on the sideline. All right? The guy they passed up to select Trey Lance. And then the next week you play Seattle. And they have Geno Smith, and you struggle in that game. And then you go to Denver week 3 against Russell Wilson, and you struggle on national TV with Chris Collinsworth, Mike Tirico, Chris Sims, Maria Taylor, Rodney Harrison, Tony Dungy. And the nation's watching that saying, why don't they just play Jimmy? That noise is going to intensify by every incompletion Trey Lance has, by every interception Trey Lance throws, by fumbles Trey Lance has, by sacks he takes. It is going to drum on every single snap.
You're going to be getting a lot of the, I'm going to do my Chris Collinsworth impression here. Well, here's a guy who hasn't played too many snaps in his NFL career, and you got someone waiting on the sideline who's more of a winner than a loser. I think you might need to go with this other guy. But you're going to be getting a lot of that.
Yeah,
you are going to be.
No doubt.
So what is the leeway that you're giving him, though? Is it the first 3 weeks where he struggles? Because I do think that if the Niners are, I really think they're too good of a team to lose to the Bears or the Seahawks.
They are good.
They're too good of a team. So really the quarterback, depending on who your quarterback is, you can lose those types of games based on quarterback play. Now, if the Seahawks and the Bears, depending on how they lose to them, if they lose to them through defense and, Geno Smith and Justin Fields carves them up, then, you might have to go in that week 3 game saying, it's not the quarterback that's the problem. It's just this team is as good as we thought. But you know what's the other thing? If Jimmy does play, if we've been talking about this offensive line, we're saying, oh yeah, well they have an insurance policy here if Trey Lance struggles and Jimmy and Jimmy's going to take him right to the playoffs. Behind this offensive line,
what do they say about Jimmy though? He has one of the quickest releases in the game.
That's true. It's true.
And if Jimmy comes in there and lights it up,
no doubt.
Oh boy. Now, a lot of people are making this point, and this is true, that the Niners in their quarterback room between Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo, it's only a cap at $16 million in the quarterback room. It's not bad.
No.
And the rest of that money that you're restructured will roll over until next season. So that creates a little more cap space for next season when it's time to give Nick Bosa his contract extension.
Yeah. Oh. When I was asked a question, would you be open to bringing Jimmy back? There wasn't the stipulation that, oh, by the way, he'd be taking a $19 million pay cut. Yeah.
Yep.
If that would have been involved in it, I said, well, yeah.
Shanahan's press conference today may not give us all the answers, but it may give us some insight into what's really going on here. A lot of people are happy that Jimmy's back, though. I didn't know that, considering the last 6 months of the way people have talked about Jimmy Garoppolo. And we're going to get to sound in the 7 o'clock hour, I promise, of everything that's happened. We will get to it.
Yes.
But I'm shocked at how many people are happy that Jimmy's back. They've come out of hiding, the Jimmy Garoppolo fans. They've come out of hibernation, Langford. The last 6 months, you got to move off this guy. When are they cutting him? This is just blowing me away.
The quarterback is what moves the needle, right?
It does.
And really, in this week, what were we waiting for? It's like we're waiting to see Trey Lance, but we're not going to have anything to react to until after September 11th. So it's like, what are we really waiting for? It's what's going to happen prior to cut down day. We were going to be talking about that today. We were probably going to go through the running back room. I had running back takes to give.
D-line takes.
Offensive line takes. How many roster spots do you need to keep here?
I was just bracing for the inevitable. Jimmy's going to be gone. He moves on. We all move on. Boom.
He said, see ya, to the media.
See ya.
Craig,
we got Craig Mack on the board. Good morning to Craig Mack. Good morning to everybody out there. Can we play that sound? The last presser of Jimmy Garoppolo. After Shanahan and Lynch said, we may try to keep him, yada, yada, yada. And then Jimmy showed up to the podium, basically said, it's been real. It's been real, folks. You guys have been great. I've enjoyed my time. Awesome. And then there was that video in Las Vegas. Remember the Niners were chilling in Las Vegas at the Pro Bowl, and Jimmy came over awkwardly to the VIP table, and they all kind of shook his hand. Like, hey, Jimmy, what's good, man? We had good times together, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't see that.
Oh, man, it was everything. All the signs pointed to Jimmy Garoppolo not being on the team. Well, here's Jimmy Garoppolo at his end-of-the-year presser from a season ago.
Faithful, thank you very much for everything. It's been crazy, man. Just all the comebacks at Levi's, comebacks on the road, ups and downs. It's been a hell of a ride, guys. I love you guys. So, see ya.
It's been crazy, guys. You know what? Maybe more opportunities for a comeback at Levi's. Maybe more opportunities for those nights on the road. I love you, media. See you next season.
See ya.
How long? He's not going to have to talk to the media, though, because he's the backup quarterback.
Oh, they need to make him available.
They'll make him available like now, but I'm talking about during the season. You're not going to hear too much from him.
You don't have to. Yeah. He's the backup. He doesn't act.
That's what Jimmy loves most about it. All right, well, I'm sacrificing all this money, but I don't have to do any media after the game. Jimmy hates talking to the media. I'm fully convinced of that. I know he's always very classy, very cordial, very professional, as he should be, but
he's also stuck He's also stuck it to the Niners a couple times, because remember last training camp, Shanahan said, we haven't decided on a starting quarterback. You guys keep asking me. We have an idea. And Jimmy comes out and was like, I'm starting. Remember that? He's like, basically, I'm starting. I'm the quarterback.
Jimmy Garoppolo might not have to speak to the media, but Kyle Shanahan is damn sure getting questions about Jimmy G to the media. There are two things that Kyle Shanahan hates. I don't know Kyle Shanahan personally, but there are two things that I know he hates. Number one, losing. He hates losing. Number two, answering questions about Jimmy G being your quarterback. I didn't even think about the Kyle Shanahan angle.
When he called everybody hard-headed. Yeah. It tipped me off. That's when what did I say? The Niners bet not miss the playoffs. Remember that line? And they made the playoffs. Let's go to Jose in Oakland. Jose in Oakland. What's up, man? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, guys.
I think, honestly, the Niners got a deal with Jimmy G. There's no way they would have been able to get a backup of Jimmy G for $6 million. I think they should have tried to work out working with the contract stuff in the beginning, but I understand that they were waiting, just like everybody else, to see how he came out of this surgery. I am all in on Trey Lance. I think he's the future, but he's just not ready yet. Okay? He's at that point where you're teaching your kid how to drive an automatic, and all of a sudden he wants to start driving your stick shift car. He's not ready. He needs more practice. I say give him the first 6 games, see what happens.
Wow, Jose, let's go to Pam in Mountain View. Pam dropped off the list. Pam, call us back. I want to get to your call. Pam out there in Mountain View, give us a call back. I don't know what happened there. I want to hear from you. Rich in Fremont. Rich, what's happening?
Fremont?
What's up, Bonte?
What's up, Rich?
What's up, Rich?
Hey, man, I'll tell you something. That was probably the smartest move that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have made. Honestly, because think about it. Had they, because they put their chips all in the middle of the table, they went in and said, okay, we're going with Trey Lance, we're moving on to Garoppolo. Now, they do this, and then all of a sudden, Trey doesn't work out. Guess what? The move they make is they have a guy who takes them to 2 NFC title games and a Super Bowl, and they move on from him for a rookie. In the history of the NFL, that's never been done. So Kyle Shanahan is looking at this. He sees where Trey is playing, and he realizes, hey, you know what? This could go very wrong. So what does he do? He works out a deal with Garoppolo. They re-sign him. Now, the last caller talked about how they'll have a veteran on the side for Trey. Smart, okay? And the other thing is, hey, if you do this and it goes wrong, you don't have Garoppolo, guess what? That's on your resume. And that makes you look like the brain trust doesn't know what it's doing. And that's the reason why Garoppolo got re-signed. Thanks, fellas.
Anytime, Rich. Anytime. Somebody's asking for a Shanahan mock presser because you are the Shanahan whisperer. By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM, HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app to favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And don't forget that you can also watch us every day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. All right, mock presser. Get the cameras out, the flashes out. Bonte Hill, Ingleside Light. Coach, why'd you make the decision to bring back Jimmy Garoppolo?
I've told you all season that we are not going to be bringing back Jimmy Garoppolo. We're going to be going with Trey Lance, and Trey Lance is our guy. I like Nate Sudfeld. I like Brock Purdy. I think that we got a good quarterback room back here. But when you have an opportunity to bring in a winner like Jimmy Garoppolo, then you're going to bring that guy in. I mean, the guy's won an NFC champion or got to an NFC championship and gone to a Super Bowl with this team. I don't know how you don't want to bring that guy back. So really excited for it, and I think that Trey Lance still gives us the best chance to win until he doesn't and possibly loses some games. And I think Jimmy G gives us the best chance to win. I don't know which one I'm going with yet. I'm not going to tell you. I'm never going to tell you through the rest of the season. I'm going to keep on mumbling words and giving you a word salad, and you will never understand what I'm saying.
Sam Lutman, San Francisco Examiner. Coach, you mentioned the leeway that Trey Lance may have. How much leeway are you giving him? Will you give him opportunity to drop to 3 and 5? Would you make a quarterback switch if Trey struggles?
I got to tell you, Sam Lubman, your voice is a little different than I'm used to it being. I've never heard you sound like that, Sam. You got a little something in your throat, Sam. You all right? I didn't know you had a voice like that, Sam. But no, Trey, look, whoever gives us the best chance to win, Bonte. You know what? I'm screwing this up.
Craig Mack.
I'm being put on the spot here.
Craig Mack,
There's
the
a lot
Oakland
to go
Tribune.
with Shanahan.
Oakland Tribune, Craig Mack.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing. Let's go to AJ.
That was a terribly failed mock presser. Look, I got put on the spot.
I did.
Didn't work out. It happens. It's live radio.
That was terrible.
It's live radio, baby.
It's terrible. Jamal in Oakland. Jamal, save the show. Jamal, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Please.
What's up? What's going on, fellas? I know Langford said earlier that he think it was a last minute decision for Jimmy G to get restructured. I think they've been talking about it all along. That's my theory. I think they've been talking about it. I mean, what quarterback actually comes in and practices on the sideline? I think they've been in talks, and they said that, look, we know the market is dried up. Here's the situation. There's a possibility that we may want to re-sign you and restructure your contract. Just go ahead and practice on the sideline to keep the media down. they haven't been leaking out anything to anybody, if you know, going back to Trey Lance and all.
Well, Jamal, somebody leaked out the ghost.
over.
Hold on real quick, but don't cut Jamal. Keep him on the line. They did. Who leaked the Jimmy Garoppolo's ghost of the organization for the last 5 years? Because that keeps getting floated out there.
Exactly, and that was all rumors. So I don't like I said, I think they've been in talks all along about possibly restructuring his deal. If nobody's going to trade for you, the market is dried up. Here's our scenario: the possibility of let's re-sign. So I don't think it was really a surprise. It wasn't a surprise to the organization. It was a surprise to everybody else and in the media because they haven't leaked out anything. And the other thing that this actually does is now it frees up cap room to be able to go ahead and sign. You know, you're going to have 864 potential players out there on the market now. Now they have a lot of more cap room to actually sign some of these guys that's actually going to be on the market. And if you listen to Jed York, Niners and them have been leaking out stuff all along. Jed York, even with Jed York, he said that they're open to Jimmy G actually coming back. So there's always these little hints that people are not paying attention to. If you listen to it, Jed York dropped this a while ago, and he has a tendency of leaking these little things out. And that's what he said. He said, look, there's a possibility there. We'd be open if Jimmy G comes back. So I think this has already been calculated all along. So they're playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers.
Wow. AJ,
it's a lot of chess moves just to bring in a backup quarterback,
to restructure a deal. And
I disagree. I still think it was last minute. Despite everything that Jamal said, it made a lot of good points. We're going to just both agree to disagree on that.
Cut down day, 1 p.m. today. Cut down day, 1 p.m. today. Who are the Niners going to keep on the roster? This story takes the cake. This story takes the cake. Like, does anybody really, like, Trey Sermon could get cut today? And some people may blink an eye. They may bat an eye. But really today is about the Niners doing the unthinkable. And we got a break here, Langford. But the Niners doing the unthinkable of bringing back number 10. They brought him back, folks, on a restructured deal.
Garoppolo is back.
Baldy 7:30. Shasky 8 o'clock. That's coming up on the roast. Sponsored by Total Wine and More. I just visited Total Wine and found my favorite Cabernet at the lowest price, Langford. It was really, really
nice.
Good. And with their incredible selection and expert guides, I even found myself a new favorite. Always love what you find at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
I just visited Total Wine and found my favorite Cabernet at the lowest price. And with their incredible selection and expert guides, I even found myself a new favorite. Always love what you find at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New gigabit extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like Square Pizza. That place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo? The spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so.
Order up!
You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Breathe new life into life at home with IKEA Festival. 10 topics, one purpose. To get more out of the homes we love. What are you passionate about? Art? Dance? Music? Food? Fur babies? Get inspired, create, and share with us. With celebrations, giveaways, IKEA family offers, and live streams with expert advice. It's all happening at IKEA Festival. Join us from August 26th through September 10th online or at your local IKEA store. Learn more at IKEA-USA.com.
We all know someone who's all work and no chill. Trust me, that used to be me. But then I found Galaxy Z Fold 4, which allows me to do more things at once. Much better. Now I can take video calls from my phone and use it to take notes at the same time.
Wait, are you at the spa?
Or check my shopping list while ordering more scented candles and face masks on the foldable, expansive screen. Don't take your to-do list one line at a time. Multitask so you can relax.
Get the new Galaxy Z Fold 4 at Samsung.com today.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us, to travel benefits, to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max Plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples one-subject notebooks are just 35 cents each. Plus, during the backpack clearance event, you'll save up to 50% on select backpacks, lunch bags, and water bottles. Staples, this year we're not going back. We're going forward to school. In-store only, ends 9/3, limit 30 on notebooks.
O'Reilly. Don't risk getting stranded with a bad battery. Our professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery does need to be replaced, we'll help you find the best battery for your vehicle and your budget. Don't wait until your battery is dead. Get it tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I love Law & Order because it's the same episode every single time.
John Mulaney is bringing The Lost back to the Bay Area, September 17th at the Concord Pavilion. For your shot at tickets, listen to Willard and Dibbs every morning this week at 10:30.
What's going on, Roasters? It's Brian Baldinger with the NFL Network, and you're listening to The Morning Roast with Bonte and Shasky on 95.7 The Game.
Smartest man in football, Brian Baldinger, will join us in 11 minutes. 11 minutes on The Morning Roast. We'll get his thoughts on the moves the 49ers made, who can get cut, who's showed out in preseason, what he likes from his team. We'll get to the other team, but today's a big Jimmy day. Whether you like it or not, Jimmy Garoppolo's back. He's back. And a lot of us didn't think he'd be back. Hell, Jimmy didn't think he'd be back. The 49ers didn't think he'd be back. But here we are. Here we are, August 30th. A day after Jimmy Garoppolo decided to restructure his contract with the 49ers, shaving over $18 million off that deal. Now, this deal could be worth up to $16 million with incentives, playtime incentives, roster bonuses, all that good stuff. But for now, it's a $6.5 million contract for Jimmy G. He was going to make $24.2. He was guaranteed if he was on a roster week 1 once kickoff happened on 9/11. So Jimmy's back.
Yep.
And there's a lot of positive comments about Jimmy Garoppolo being back. It feels like a lot of people are happy with Jimmy Garoppolo being back. But it also feels like that's an indictment on Trey Lance. When I don't think it's an indictment on Trey Lance, I think it's an indictment on the backup quarterback room. Last Friday, I ranted and raved about Brock Purdy stinking it up. Yeah. People say, "Oh, you're too hard on Brock Purdy." Brock Purdy's not a good quarterback. I'm sorry. Nate Sudfeld's not a good quarterback. Not a good quarterback. So the worst thing in the world is to bring Jimmy back. Yes, it's awkward as hell, Langford.
Right.
This is awkward.
Right.
Every throw is going to be magnified with Trey Lance.
That's why I can't wait to be. That's why I can't wait to be joined here by Baldy. We can't wait to talk to him, because it's like, how will this impact the team? Is this going to impact the locker room at all? Like, what does it mean when they haven't given him a playbook? Is that going to impact Jimmy? How much practice is going to matter for a guy who's played with this team for damn near 5 seasons? And the indictment on Trey Lance question, like, if this was an indictment on Trey Lance, why would the 49ers want to do this if it was an indictment on Trey Lance? Because they traded up to get this guy. He's supposed to be your franchise quarterback. Supposedly they're just going to let Jimmy walk in 2023. Like, if this is an indictment on Trey Lance, well, if Jimmy Garoppolo comes in and Trey Lance doesn't play well, and you don't feel like he's the franchise quarterback for this team, that's an indictment on Shanahan and Lynch for actually making that move in the first place. So I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to show their hand. I think what they did and their thought process was, our best option at a backup quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo. And I want to use some precedent here. Like, he's the highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL, right?
Yep.
You know how much Marcus Mariota was paid with the Raiders 2 years ago?
How much was he paid?
He got a 2-year deal, and it was worth $16.5 million.
Wow.
So they were paying him upwards of $8 million. So it could be a lot worse than you pay for a backup quarterback. They said, hey, you take a pay cut, you also make an incentive laden, and we're going to give you a no trade clause, no tag clause, whatever. Like, we give you all these deals. We give you this deal. It's a pretty good move to have that as your backup quarterback and to have Jimmy as your backup quarterback, a guy who knows the system. So I don't think it's an indictment on Trey Lance, because if it is, then you made the wrong pick.
You know what it's an indictment on? In my opinion, it's the way Lynch and Shanahan have handled the quarterback spot since the moment they arrived. 2017 NFL draft. I keep going back to this.
There's been direction, but there's been a lot of turbulence with it.
Roller coaster from 2017. Don't scout Mahomes and Deshaun Watson because you're hell-bent on getting Kirk Cousins in the offseason. You drafted C.J. Beathard in the 3rd round. You know, like, the next year, okay, you trade. That same season, you trade for Jimmy Garoppolo because you realize Brian Hoyer stunk, and you realize C.J. Beathard wasn't the dude, so you trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, you give away a 2nd-round pick to New England. Well, it works out. You give Jimmy Garoppolo the 5-year, $137.5 million contract. And then all of a sudden, you're still looking for his replacement. You're looking for his bridesmaid. You're looking for somebody else. You pass up on Brady after a Super Bowl run. The report comes out before the Super Bowl run that Nick Mullins has a chance to start if Jimmy struggles. So the handling of the quarterback spot, even last year with Trey Lance coming in throwing the first touchdown pass of the season, I just think it's been awkward how this 49ers brass, this new regime, and Shanahan and Lynch have handled the quarterback spot. Now, they're trying to get it right. I'm not dismissing that. They're trying to get it right. But it's been awkward from day one on how they've handled the quarterback spot. And that's what gets me. That's what gets me. By the way, Beat the Streak, there's $5.6 million up for grabs with the MLB Beat the Streak game. Check out Beat the Streak Daily podcast to find out which players have the best chance to get a hit today so you can get closer to becoming a millionaire. Call out players from your local MLB team who are hot or due for a hit. Download Beat the Streak Daily on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. AJ and Fremont, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Good morning, guys. I believe everything is fair in love and war. And I think they made a great decision. Now, we saw 3 games in preseason, right? Game 1, Trey Lance was good. Game 2, he didn't play. And Game 3, I mean, trust me, he was not. Everybody thought he's not ready. Media, everybody was all over it. I think now we have in-house competition. We have two quarterbacks. One wants to prove that he's the best, and second wants to make sure that he plays so good that he gets traded for a good amount of money next year. And this is a well-balanced team. I believe that it's a lot more pressure not only on the quarterbacks. It's more pressure on the teams we are playing because now they got to go back on the chart and they got to start making adjustments on their play callings, how they're going to handle both the quarterbacks. And I strongly believe that there has been a lot of talk which has happened between Jimmy G and the management, the coaching staff, and everybody. And they have not settled him as a backup quarterback. Maybe it's a lot more into it. And that we will find when, as the season goes on and how Kyle Shanahan is going to flip-flop these, these quarterbacks. A few snaps here and there. But he is not going to be a 100% total backup quarterback that I can, based on my understanding.
Gotcha, AJ. Gotcha.
And I was thinking about Jimmy just being the backup for the entirety of the season. Now, the trade deadline is on November 1st, and, part of the talking point was, well, is there a chance that he gets traded by that deadline? And thinking about it more and more, I mean, it depends where the 49ers are at. If the 49ers are just in a losing type of season by November 1st and you just trade Jimmy Garoppolo, then that's just, I was probably not going to have, it does make it easier to trade him, but now that I'm thinking about it more and more, it's most likely not going to happen that they do trade him by November 1st. If you feel like this team is a playoff type of team, you want him there for the entire time because you have just under 2 months left in the season after the dedeadline.
Just in case something happened.
Yeah.
Just in case something happened. And I know Steve Young wanted out at a point in time. When Joe Montana was a starter and he wanted to play. But you know what? Bill Walsh, George, we got to keep this guy. This guy's too good. So let's get to Duke real quick. Duke in the city. We got Baldy coming up in 3.5 minutes. Brian Baldinger, smartest man in football. And look, I thought today we were going to get it. His breakdown on Malik Willis. I mean, Baldy was going crazy. He was salivating over the Miami Dolphins and all the formations and different tweaks the Dolphins had going with Mike McDaniel. Baldy was going crazy. But today's all about the 49ers, folks.
Dude, you think Kyle Shanahan handled the media, in a certain way last year when answering questions about the quarterback? Wait till Mike Vrabel has to answer questions about the quarterback over there in Tennessee.
My gosh. Oh, my gosh.
He's going to be like, no, Ryan's the starter. Shut up. Don't ask me anything else.
Yep. And everybody's asking about the bet between Shasky and I, that we had with Willard and Dibbs, the burrito bet. What's a push? The burrito Standy Kitchens, Mark Willard, Texas, yesterday. Nobody wins the bet.
Damn.
Nobody wins the bet.
All that for nothing.
Duke in the city, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's up with my little brother and nephew this morning, man? You know what's going down, man. You know it's the Niners, man. You know how we do it, man. Change the game, man. Told the wise guy I was going to hit y'all with this little snippet right quick before I get into this. We're going to go just like this. Golden Boy Trey Lance is not stumbling and bumbling and acting like Mel Lumpkin. And bullets that he passing, got fire and got gas. And now it's getting drastic. How you catching balls in the middle of the traffic. We don't see all that. But in case it bumble and it do fumble, that's why Jimmy G is going to be there, man. We got to look. This is the best case scenario for the NFL, best case scenario for football right now. Like I told him yesterday on D. Bruce and them, if it comes time, in the words of Ice Cube, will he be ready? Yes. Yes. But at that price, neither one of them could pass it up. You know what I mean? Jimmy couldn't pass it up, man. Look, we got Steve Austin, man, a $6 million and a half man, a backup championship quarterback that's proven. So what more can you ask for? Who do you want, Sutfield back there, or you want your boy Purdy? I mean, however it go, man, we got the best backup in the league at the best price. So I don't know what everybody is crying for, man. In the words of your boy Denzel again, before I leave y'all, man, you got to take the crooked with the straights, man. Take the crooked with the straights, man. I love y'all. We're going to give y'all the rest of that when we get back, man. Go Niners.
Duke, he dropped a half bar.
Yeah.
He got just some takes.
There was a freestyle that Childish Gambino did once where he's rapping, but at the same time, he's kind of doing like a little spoken word in the middle of it and kind of getting the sway involved and everything. I thought that's what Duke was doing.
Yeah, no,
he's like going into a freestyle, and all of a sudden he just starts giving his actual take.
Another big question is, What is Rita Oak going to do? Before we get to Baldy, Rita Oak, she's going to announce what she's going to do about Jimmy being back because she had a drawing every single day Jimmy was on the team until he was traded. She was going to stop.
Genius.
What is she going to do now?
Genius.
With that said, hit the intro, Craig. Wait. Oh, we got to get it going. There we go.
He breaks down plays better than anyone.
I mean, this is like Shark Week now. And you know what Baker Mayfield is? He's a chum. Look at these sharks. You think you're getting away from those 4 angry sharks? It's Shark Week. It's time to eat. Make the read. Urgency. That's the name of the game right here. Urgency. Now, on it. He's on it. Touchdown. Beautiful throw.
He's our 95.7 The Game NFL insider, Brian Baldinger.
Former NFL pro, Cowboys, Eagles. Had a look. Got to visit the 49ers. I thought he was going to make that Niners squad when they won the Super Bowl. But Brian Baldinger, the smartest man in football. And I thought we were going to get into his great breakdowns of Malik Willis, the Miami Dolphins. Baldinger going, he's spotlighting fans wearing the Mercury Morris jersey, saying, Dolphin fans need something to celebrate. They're still rocking Mercury Morris jerseys.
I had Mike McDaniel questions all written up for today. But Jimmy G.
And you know what? and Baldy, we just got to know. We'll start this conversation. And good morning to you, Baldy. Thanks for joining us as always. We love you. Where were you when you got the alert that Jimmy Garoppolo was restructuring his contract to stick around with the San Francisco 49ers?
Well, good morning, guys. Bonte. So I was in Los Angeles, and we were kind of getting ready for a Total Access show. Me and Bucky Brooks and Michael Yam, we were on yesterday, and we were actually just talking about some Brady stuff and some Baker Mayfield, questions and whatnot. And all of a sudden, this news broke, and it became story number one for us. And it was really, I had just gotten off the phone with Sean Salisbury, and we had just done a podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was the story before the story broke, was what would I do? And I was like, so here was my take, Bonte. And I said, and I've been saying this all along, like he's got more value to the 49ers than anybody else. It's unfortunate that he had the surgery in mid-March, and his shoulder wasn't really healed until July. And so he really wasn't on anybody's radar because nobody was going to trade for a guy that they weren't sure if he was healthy, especially on a throwing shoulder. And so then it's a question of money. And it really costs more money just to release him than it does to keep him. And then you look at, well, do you really, if something does happen to Trey Lance, and you never know in this business, but are you really comfortable if they have to go with Nate Sudfeld? And I think Nate Sudfeld is a journeyman, and I think he's got one start in the league. And if you could keep Jimmy at a reduced rate, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, when you take that amount of money off, it makes you feel pretty good about the deal. One talking point I've heard is just how he hasn't really practiced with the team, but he also wasn't given a playbook. And I want to focus on the playbook. I don't have an opinion on this one way or another, so I want to learn from you here, Baldy. Like, can't he just pick up that playbook as soon as it's been given to him? It feels like a lot of people are saying, well, he's never practiced with the team. He's not been given a playbook. I don't know if they should keep him as a backup. I mean, does the playbook thing really matter? He's been with the team for over 4.5 years.
2017, yeah.
I don't think the playbook has changed much.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be any problem for him digesting it. Typically, guys that have been there 5 years, you got to get a little bored by the playbook, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, it's all about the game plan. What are you doing this week? What are you doing? And it's all about the Chicago Bears right now, right? So I'll bet that Jimmy has already been looking at the Chicago Bears and, some of the new guys, Brisker, and, some of the new guys that they have drafted and where they're playing. I'm sure he's already kind of taken a look. Because Matt Eberflus has a new defense, and I bet he's already looked at some of the preseason games. I mean, I'm just my guess as a guy that was looking at this as an opportunity or a possibility, since he really wasn't getting any phone calls from anywhere, and even though that they put him on the market, they're really, in this game of musical chairs of quarterbacks this offseason, he was the one guy left standing. And so there really wasn't a landing spot for him.
Yep.
And so I don't think the playbook is any kind of an issue.
Brian Baldinger, NFL Network, our 95.7 The Game insider, Compass Media Networks. He's getting ready for Mississippi State and Memphis Saturday down in Starkville, Mississippi. A lot of cowbells, Baldy. A lot of cowbells. Get those earplugs.
That's right.
He's breaking down the 49ers.
Stark Vegas, man. I'm ready for it.
Stark Vegas. Yeah, no, you're made for Stark Vegas. No doubt about that. You're built for it. We'll get to the rest of the 53-man roster in just a second, but more on Jimmy Garoppolo. A lot of people are thinking, hey, and I agree with you, Baldy. I think it's more of an indictment on Brock Purdy and Dave Sudfeld. I was saying it last Friday. These guys aren't ready. These guys just aren't ready. If Trey goes down, but how does Trey handle the situation now? Because I do believe he's mentally strong, but we know how this game works, Baldy. If they struggle, if they stumble, every incompletion, every interception, fumble, sack, the drama's going to intensify, and the cameras are going to pan to number 10, Jimmy Garoppolo. And people are going to say, well, the 49ers are 31-14 under Jimmy. They were 31-14. You got a Super Bowl caliber quarterback there backing him up. How does Trey handle the situation? What would you do if you're a teammate of Trey Lance's? What would you tell him?
Well, I'll give you an example. I mean, I don't know how Trey's going to handle it. None of us do.
Yeah.
Be honest with you. I mean, we got to wait and find out. But, in Philadelphia, Carson Wentz was the starter, had just gotten a huge contract, second contract, and they drafted Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. And he never was good with it, ever. And when Jalen Hurts went in there, I mean, Carson Wentz went in the tank. Now, I don't think that that's going to happen with Trey Lance. Because Trey Lance, but you just don't know how it's going to happen. I'm sure that Kyle and Lynch and the whole group, Jed York, has sat Trey Lance down and said, we're going to do this. I'm sure they made the phone call. We're going to do this. You're our starter. You're getting all the number one reps. We're getting you ready for the Chicago Bears. I'm sure they have said all of that stuff. But to your point, Bonte, like this thing now has a wholly different dimension if Jimmy's there. And if he does struggle for any period of time, forget about just one game, just if he struggles for a quarter or a half. If you lose, look, in this business, if you lose 2 games in a row, the sky is falling. I don't care what your team is, who your quarterback is. The Rams didn't win a game for a month last year. And you would have thought there's no way that they're going to win a Super Bowl. And one of those losses in that month was to the 49ers, and it was ugly. I mean, they got whipped by the 49ers.
Yep.
So that's just the reality of it right now. We'll find out how mentally strong he is and how tough he is, because there's no way to really predict it. It's the number one question out there, Bonte, what you just asked.
Yep.
Yeah, Baldy, is there any downside to this move at all? I mean, maybe just like you were answering there, is that the downside? The possibility of Trey losing 2 or more games and then, Kyle Shanahan possibly having to make the switch? Because as I'm looking at this deal and seeing Brock Purdy and Nate Sudfeld and understanding those guys would not be good backups, to me, it's hard to find a downside to this move, especially with the pay cut as well.
I think that's the downside. The downside is, is there going to be a quick hook? I mean, I don't know if Kyle knows that answer.
Right.
I mean, he'll use the eye test. Can he run the offense? Can he execute it? I mean, the fact that we're even asking those questions is why Jimmy is probably signed.
Right.
If we were completely certain, if everybody was totally certain that Trey can handle this, this next phase of his career and be the next 49 quarterback for the next decade, if we were completely clear about it, then they probably wouldn't even do this deal. But it really makes sense right now. It just does. I called it yesterday, it's just an expensive insurance policy. Not as expensive as it once was, but with the reduction, it's an insurance policy right now.
No doubt about that. Brian Baldinger. Baldy's doing so much work. NFL Network, Odyssey Insider, 95.7 The Game Insider. But Baldy is Sean Salisbury, our other partner here in 95.7 The Game Insider. They did a season preview for the 49ers that will debut on YouTube later today. You don't want to miss that.
Nice.
If you football geeks, this is going to be good stuff. It's about an hour long, so we're going to watch that. That's coming out a little bit later today. Go ahead, Baldy.
Let me just say one thing, Bonte. So, we were getting ready to do this podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
And we said, well, we don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo. So let's just do 5 minutes on Jimmy G, and then we'll kind of power down, then we'll power back up.
Right.
And then you could kind of plug that in one way or the other.
Right.
The other. No, and literally, as soon as we finished this podcast, and we were on for about an hour, as soon as we finished, the news broke within 15 minutes. It was so the timing, it was so serendipitous to throw out, a San Francisco word.
Right.
That it was kind of shocking.
Baldy, I was in the hot tub after working out. Now, I'm out of shape, and I'm trying to get ready for hoop season and football. I burned over 1,000 calories, Baldy. I felt like a champ, right? And so I get to my phone. I'm getting out the jacuzzi. I'm about to go to the pool. And I go to my phone, and my boy Joe Shasky's on vacation. He's joining us in about 21 minutes from the Russian River on vacation. I get all these alerts. We do an IG Live, and I'm in the hot tub. He's chopping up garlic and barbecuing, and we're thinking, what the heck is going on here? Blew through my nap, got a headache, everything else. It was unbelievable here, but no matter who plays quarterback for the 49ers, who the hell's going to block for him, whether it's Jimmy G or Trey Lance? Because this offensive line right now, I have my concerns. The interior line, Mike McGlinchey when he comes back, They got some work to do here. Aaron Banks, Burford, Brindle. How do you assess the offensive line here, Baldy?
Well, it doesn't look like a line that we've watched over the last 3 or 4 years right now. Now, Jalen Moore, I thought at one point he might have a chance, to be a starter. He played well a couple of years ago when Joe was down. He doesn't look like that player now. I don't know how much you can count on him or Colton McKivitz right now. Burford's a rookie, so you got to allow rookies to grow.
Right.
Aaron Banks, is in there right now. He didn't play last year, basically. So you got 3 new guys, Jake Brendel at center. I mean, you got 3 new interior guys, not to mention that McGlinchey struggled before he was hurt. So, Trent can't block everybody.
Right.
It can't be just Trent.
Right.
So this thing might take a while. We really don't know. You got to put them up against the Bears and let them go to work. They didn't get enough work in the preseason, in my mind, to really come together and to really kind of get a feel for it. There's a couple good runs, but this thing I think is going to take a little bit of time, and it remains to be seen whether they've got the right pieces there or not. We don't know. I mean, you got two young draft picks in there in Burford and Banks, and one thing I knew about Laken Tomlinson, I knew you were never going to hear his name once during an entire game, ever. 85 straight starts, next to Joe and next to Trent. He was a rock, and now he's with the Jets. So that guy, he never got his name called because he never got a penalty. He was just as consistent as possible, and that's what you want. And so those are big shoes to fill right now.
You kind of stole my thunder there, Baldy, because with the Jimmy Garoppolo move here, restructuring his contract, a lot of fans are saying, well, damn, they could have kept Laken Tomlinson, maybe used a franchise tag on Laken Tomlinson, and especially with Alex Mack retiring so late into the summer, that's a move that nobody really talks about. Laken Tomlinson moving on, you could have at least solidified the left side of the line, and then the right side, you kind of patchwork it there with Burford, McKivitz, Brandel, or McGlinchey.
Well, that's pretty much hindsight, though, because I think, when you draft Aaron Banks, you're basically saying we're not going to give Laken Tomlinson the next contract.
That's a good point.
We've gotten 5 years out of him. He started every game. We can't ask for anything more from a guy that was basically a reject from Detroit. I mean, they found gold in Detroit's, trash right there. Not trashing Laken.
No doubt.
The Lions gave up on him. And so that's what you do. You pluck good players from bad organizations. And that's what the Niners did. They did their homework, and he was great. But they were saying, we spent a high pick on Aaron Banks, a 2nd-round pick. Notre Dame has been putting out offensive linemen for a decade that play at a high level in this business. So maybe he's the next one. They may have seen enough from Aaron Banks to say we're comfortable with this move.
Getting back to Jimmy G, Baldy, so when we saw the pay cut, we also saw that this makes it easier for a possible trade because another team would be willing to pay that base salary of just $6.5 million. Do you see any scenario in which a trade takes place by the November 1st deadline? Because to me, I just don't see a reason for it if you feel like it's a playoff team and he's going to be the backup.
Well, I don't right now, but injuries are going to play a factor in that deal. And you could just pick a team. If something happened to Tua, would the 49ers and Mike McDaniel be interested in Jimmy G? They look like they're a playoff roster. If something would happen, what are they going to do? And so you could go around the league and you could go, what if? But that's kind of the scenario right now. But I mean, that would be one.
Yeah.
If something would happen to Tua. I can see Mike McDaniel picking up the phone and calling Kyle and going, hey, how bad do you guys want him? Because we'll plug him in here right now.
Mm-hmm.
He knows pretty much our offense. We could plug and play.
Right.
So that's the scenario right now.
Gotcha.
Trey Sermon, what do you think happens to him before cutdown day at 1 p.m., Baldy, West Coast time? Trey Sermon has been on the hot seat here. They have a slew of running backs. Jeff Wilson Jr., of course, TDP, the young man out of LSU. Elijah Mitchell looks healthy. He's back on the practice field. Will Trey Sermon be the odd man out in your opinion, Baldy?
There's options. You could put him on the practice squad. Somebody could pluck him off the practice squad. You got options right there.
Right.
I think with the injury history right there of, some of those guys, you better keep a deep roster of running backs, and especially the way they went through them last year. I don't know. Like, some teams are comfortable keeping 3 running backs on your 53. Like, I don't think the 49ers are comfortable doing that, with what Jeff Wilson has had happen. And so I think Sermon will probably stick around. But they may try to clear waivers with him and see if somebody takes him and bring him back. I mean, those kind of things could happen after 4 o'clock today.
No doubt. And Mason Kidd ran hard, but hey, there's a lot of drama out here. We had no clue that we'd be talking about Jimmy Garoppolo for possibly another 6 months, but here we are at their offseason. Now, before we let you go, how would you assess the handling of this situation by John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass? Because, Baldy, I've been watching the NFL for a long time. I know you've been watching it for twice as long. You played in the league. I can't recall a situation like this lasting this long. It's just so bizarre to me. I can't wrap my head around it. How do you think they handled this situation, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, Baldy?
Well, I think they have to consider all the moving parts here, Bonte. I mean, you have surgery in mid-March. Okay, there's a quarterback carousel that spun this year like we've never seen before. Mm-hmm. There's only so many landing spots. And then by the time Jimmy was healthy, sometime around mid-July or right before, it started training camp, all the spots have been filled. Baker Mayfield got signed on July 6th. If Jimmy had his surgery in January and was healthy in May, I don't think Jimmy G would be here. So you had to wait until he got healthy.
Yeah.
And then by that point, like Seattle, still makes sense to me, especially, the way that Drew Lock played the other day against Dallas.
Yeah.
It looked like he played himself, not out of just a potential starting job, played himself like out of the league as bad as he was.
Yeah.
So, would Seattle be interested in Jimmy G, if he was healthy? I think they might have been. So I can't really indict John or Kyle on this deal because, they really couldn't do anything until he got cleared.
Yeah, this is wild. Wild stuff, and we'll be talking to you all season long.
Insane.
Every single Tuesday at 7:30. Baldy, we always appreciate the time. And do not forget, Baldy, it's Sean Salisbury.
Yes.
Season preview for the
great.
49ers. It'll debut on YouTube later today, and it's about an hour long. They break down everything with the 49ers. You don't want to miss this stuff. Our 95.7 Game Insider NFL Network. He's going to Stark Vegas Saturday. Who lives a better life than Brian Baldinger? I'm still looking for that person. Baldy, you're the best, man.
I'm chasing cowbells and great barbecue in Mississippi this weekend.
There's no doubt about that, Baldy. We'll talk to you next week, brother.
Okay, take care, guys.
Thanks,
all right,
Bonte.
Baldy.
Man, I just called him Bonte. Dude, I'm thinking about it because I'm looking at, the rundown, trying to think of Jimmy G, narratives. That's the downside there, right? It's narratives. I don't know if the team's going to be operating in that way. I have a feeling that the director of whatever broadcast on TV is going to be broadcasting their football games. The director is going to be sitting inside that broadcast truck having a camera specifically for Jimmy G. Mm-hmm. Right? They have a whole bunch of cameras. There's going to be one that just has an eye on Jimmy G the entire time. They're going to dedicate that.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
So
it's like Alex Smith and Kaepernick.
Yes.
When Kaepernick got that road start in New Orleans and Alex Smith suited up. Alex Smith was standing there by himself on the sideline with his hands inside his shoulder pads, and the camera kept panning. And then the 49ers, which I thought was just terrible. Alex Smith had to speak to the media on Media Day during the Super Bowl week, and it was so odd, so awkward. And I actually felt kind of bad for Alex, even though I thought the decision was the right move to go to Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen all day long here. Now, real quick, we got some breaking news.
Ooh.
Rita Oak, day 209. Drawing Jimmy G every day until he gets traded. Day 209. I'm not leaving. The show goes on. A little ripoff from Wolf on Wall Street.
Nice.
How about that? And then she tweeted underneath it, Yesterday was a crazy day. I'm so overwhelmed by all the messages I received. This was definitely not the outcome I was expecting, but I'm incredibly happy for Jimmy and for the 49ers for being able to retain one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think it would only make us stronger. Now he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I wouldn't know about the drawings, but hell, Rita Oak, still in business. And this is something we were discussing earlier, and we'll get back to the calls. 888-957-9570. Shasky's going to join us in about 11 minutes live from the Russian River. This is something that we talked about. Will Trey Lance get a leash as long as Jimmy Garoppolo last season?
Right.
When the 49ers dropped to 3-5. Now, Jimmy wasn't responsible for all the losses. Trey started the Arizona game. But Jimmy was going to get a longer leash because he's a veteran quarterback. Trey Lance's leash may not be that long because he's a second-year unproven quarterback. Now, Kawakami from The Athletic, he hits this spot on, and this is something we've kind of swept under the rug. And this was huge last year. Shanahan conceded that he was probably one loss away from switching to Trey Lance. And if Trey Lance didn't get hurt in Arizona, he may have started the Rams game or that Colts game in the rain. Remember that Colts game in the rain?
Yeah.
He may have gotten that start. But it is a totally different situation. But Lance Shanahan was close. If they would have lost one more game, 3-6, season not really going anywhere. All right, let's see what the youngster has. Lance will not get that same leash because Garoppolo is a veteran, and we've seen what he's done in this league. Whether you like it or not, he's won game. He's helped his team win a lot of games. When he's in that lineup, the Niners win. So that's your answer there about whether or not Lance is going to get a longer leash. He will not get a longer leash than Jimmy Garoppolo did last season.
This is just me. Well, you heard Baldy just now. He said 2 games in a row, you lose 2 games in a row as a starting quarterback. Sky's falling. Yeah, you feel like you got to make some changes. I personally think, and someone brought this up, if he goes 3-5, what's going to happen? Yeah, you have 8 games prior to the bye week. Your bye week is week 9. And in those 8 games, you got the Bears, Seahawks, Broncos, Rams, Panthers, Falcons, Chiefs, and then Rams again. Now, some of those, tough games.
Yeah.
You got 2 against the reigning Super Bowl champions. You got 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Who knows if they're going to be the same without Tyreek Hill on offense, but they got a damn good offensive line, so the Chiefs still going to be pretty good. But the Panthers, Falcons, and the Seahawks and the Bears, all very winnable football games. Yeah, if you're 3-5 going into the bye week, I'd expect Jimmy Garoppolo to be starting against the Chargers if you're going 3-5 against a schedule like that in the first 8 games.
Let's get to these calls, Langford, because I'm with you there. Let's get to these calls. Jose in San Francisco. Jose, you're on the Morning Roast. What's up, Jose?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. What a crazy morning.
Yeah. I knew Jimmy wasn't going nowhere, though, the whole time. I bet my friends like $100 he was still going to be on the roster this season.
Nice. He just mic dropped.
I hear what he said.
He basically said that he bet $100 that the Jimmy G would still be on the roster. So shout out to you.
Was that a bet?
Yeah, that's what he said.
What were the odds on that?
I don't know. He just hung up.
Damn, the odds on that probably
dropped.
Great.
He mic dropped.
Hey,
made $100. Thank you so much.
That's it.
Quite some insight, huh?
Tsunami. Let's clean it up here. Tsunami, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up?
Hey, Fonte, man, and Shafty's going to come on. You guys got to stop taking this so personal about Jimmy G.
It's Steven, by the way, Tsunami.
It's not personal.
That got personal.
Nobody's taking it personal.
Tsunami, you know me, bro.
Tsunami, I've got no personal beef with Jimmy.
No, I hear you. And Langford, that wasn't.
I know, man. Come on, I'm just kidding.
Shafty's coming on at 8, right?
Yep. Yes, he is.
On the backbone. So my point was think about this. This is more of an indictment on how much trash Purdy and Sudfeld are, man.
That's what
I mean. You got an opportunity to bring in a backup that if Trey Lance for some reason gets hurt, which he did last year, you got someone that's still going to keep the wheels going, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
If we didn't have Jimmy G, how would you feel if Trey Lance got hurt?
I wouldn't feel good, Tsunami. I've said that. Last Friday after the Texans game, I ripped Brock Purdy. People say, well, you're too hard on this guy who was the last pick of the NFL draft. I do not care. Brock Purdy is not an NFL quarterback. Not right now. Maybe one day he gets better, but not right now. And Sudfeld. Kidding me? Nate Sudfeld? Go ask Philadelphia how Nate Sudfeld is.
Man,
so go ask them.
If you're hoping to keep both those quarterbacks on the practice squad, like I don't really see a benefit in that, keeping two quarterbacks there. I could actually see, to be honest with you, I think Brock Purdy had shown enough where they're thinking, you know what, he's a rookie. He's Mr. Irrelevant, as they call him, drafted last in the draft. Like, you know what? Let's take a chance.
Yep, let's take a chance. Let's go to Denver, Colorado for a second. Denver, David in Denver, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's up, fellas? Hey, man, I think it is a win-win for sure. Like, I don't think there's any downside to this, and I think what's going to be tried, whatever's going to try to make the downside is the whole Trey looking over his shoulder and the drama of that, because that's what everyone's going to want to do. Like, that's going to come full force. But what I put everything on is this, is that I believe most in Trey, not because of his experience and all that, because I do think this dude's got a good head on his shoulders. I do think he'll be able to thrive and still learn and grow in that situation. And that's what I think it comes down to, because some guys might fold, might feel the pressure. I think he's going to do all right despite that, but I know there's going to be a lot made over that. So that's my take, because I'm putting my faith in Trey's, his character and his headspace, man. I think he's going to do because of that.
Hey, good call, David. I do think Trey Lance is mentally strong, but you also have people like the 650 Comcast Business Text Line. Bonte Stephen, this has nothing to do with the backups and everything to do with Trey Lance. It's oblivious to think otherwise. Is it on Trey? Is it an indictment on Trey? Or is it the backups? Or is it just making the quarterback room better? It does make the 53-man roster better. There's no doubt about that. Trey goes down. You got Jimmy Garoppolo there. You know you can win a lot of big games with Jimmy. They've won a lot of big games with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I just think it's oblivious to think that this would have any indictment on Lance. Personally, I'm going to throw that back in the texter's face. Like, what? You think the Niners are just going to admit, you know what? We made a mistake in trading up for this guy. We need to bring back this dude who we could have traded.
Also, I think we were wrong. Maybe Shanahan does trust Jimmy Garoppolo a lot more than we were led to believe.
Maybe. Third and one doesn't say so.
Yeah, Craig Mack, you know what time it is.
It's time for the Injury Report. That really hurts. Brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
We're going to make this short and sweet. The only thing we're rooting for in baseball is for the Dodgers to lose. And you know what? They may lose in the playoffs because, we know Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May, they're back. They're back, but Tony Gonsolin went on a 15-day IL with a forearm strain. Forearm strains can often be a precursor for Tommy John surgery, so it would be understandable if the Dodgers just lost Walker Buehler to Tommy John surgery. He's not back until 2024. That the Dodgers are going to be extra cautious with Gonsolin. By the way, Gonsolin, he's 16-1 with the NL best 2.10 ERA. Dodgers, I think they were like 41-9. They're probably like 42-9 now. In their last 51 games have been dynamic. The Injury Report brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. What's coming up on the game? Sponsored by Fremont Bank, full-service banking, no compromises. More of your phone calls in a little bit. Everybody hang tight. 888-957-9570. I see you all on hold. We'll get to you at some point before we sign off. But up next, the one and only Joe Shasky the Butcher. He's joining the roast. On vacation live from the Russell River. That's next.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us to travel benefits to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
O'Reilly. Don't risk getting stranded with a bad battery. Our professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery does need to be replaced, we'll help you find the best battery for your vehicle and your budget. Don't wait until your battery is dead. Get it tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake and tire replacements, oil changes, and much more. It's the ultimate convenience. Easy booking, transparent pricing, on-time arrivals, and service right in your driveway. No waiting rooms and direct access to your mechanic with friendly and reliable service. No middleman or upsells. They're so sure you'll love the convenience. Take $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. Kirby, your driveway mechanic.
Are you ready for your palm reading, my dear?
Yeah, let's do this.
I sense that you crave something.
More reliable.
Right. You know you deserve better and want out of a relationship.
Yes, with my big name wireless carrier.
You're who now?
My big name wireless carrier. That's why I switched to Xfinity Mobile. Now I get unlimited with 5G for $30 per month on the most reliable 5G network.
Let's talk about your aura. It's so...
And get this. They can even save you hundreds a year on your wireless bill over T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon.
Wow, that's actually really impressive.
Yep, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I definitely saw this coming.
Start seeing savings today. Switch to the fastest mobile service, Xfinity Mobile. Now with the best price on 2 lines of unlimited, just $30 a line per month. Switch today. Xfinity Internet required. Price comparison for 2 unlimited lines under available 5G pricing plans of top 3 carriers. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds up to 20 gigabytes of usage per line. Most reliable based on root metrics. US report. Comcast analysis of mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data from Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Q2 2022.
Okay, Jimmy, I want to read you a quote. This is a pitcher, Steve Klein, after a rookie hit a home run off him and then flipped his bat. Steve Klein said, end quote, that's Little League.
I got every stitch of that ball.
Hey everyone, I'm Ron Darling.
And I'm Jimmy Rollins. Check out Unwritten from Odyssey and Major League Baseball. New episodes start May 18th and drop every week throughout the Major League season. Find it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Count on Lowe's for Labor Day savings to kick off your fall. Tidy up your yard with an Ego leaf blower starting at $199. These battery-powered blowers provide power and performance, clearing leaves and debris with ease. Plus, save $50 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, now $299. This Lowe's exclusive can fit up to 30 burgers. Shop Labor Day savings now at Lowe's. Grill offer valid through 9/7 while supplies last.
On the south side, we got 6 poly panels, and please make sure they're flush.
Kwame is converting everyone on the block to solar power.
Please get a crew to wrap up 202 South Duane.
He needs more certified installers before the sun sets on his business boom.
Well, let's pick up the pace. We got a long day.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
New on Curiosity Stream, the kings of early Hollywood made movies, not friends.
Get him out of here before I kill him.
The Curiosity original series continues with a new episode of Titans, The Rise of Hollywood. Plus, meet the original alpinists of 1865. They scaled an impossible mountain for the first time, then fell to their deaths. Accident or foul play. It's death on the Matterhorn. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's time to wake up with with a nice cup of morning roast.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Bonte Hill and Joe Shasky.
And well, I'm about that action, boss.
Take him out! This is the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, baby. Or is it a yes, sir? Good morning, family. Nice guy, Stephen Langford, in for Joe Shasky, the Butcher. We got Craig back on the board, Sam Lubman producing, Bonte Hill. Good morning to all the roasters out there on the roadways, getting off the graveyard shift. If you've been sleeping under a rock on YouTube, Twitch, or the Comcast business text line, Jimmy Garoppolo's back on a restructured one-year deal for $6.5 million, no trade clause, but they can get through that. We'll see what happens with that. But when the news broke, the first text I saw was from Shasky and Rocco.
Yeah.
Unreal. I'm just trying to hit the pool and just relax. I'm like, what the hell are these guys talking about? And yes, Jimmy Garoppolo news broke at 2:22 West Coast time, Adam Schefter. And so we did an IG Live, Shasky and I. He's chopping up garlic. He's barbecuing. He's on the golf course flexing. I said, Shasky, you know what? The roasters need to hear from you today. They need to hear from him. On vacation or not.
Yep.
He's live from the Russian River. Shasky joins his own damn show. Shasky, the Butcher. What's happening, my man? Garoppolo's back. Garoppolo's back.
When I first heard the news, I was in complete shock and awe. And then, as I start to mature and get a little older, I'm a seasoned veteran now, I tried to soak this thing in. Have you guys ever heard of there's a poet, Shakespeare. He has a line. And here's the line. I want you to listen closely, okay? In situations of love and war, you do not have to obey the rules of reasonable behavior. And what that means is that you're trying to build the best damn roster top to bottom. Is it chaotic? Is it a circus? Of course it is. You know, Jimmy Garoppolo coming back, we all cast him off. I mean, it felt like he was beheaded like Ned Stark at the beginning of Game of Thrones. But yet here he is, risen from the dead, back on the team. If this is about winning a Super Bowl, you have an obligation to build the best team top to bottom. And no one with a straight face can say Jimmy Garoppolo on this team is a worse team. It's a better team. And the way I view backup quarterbacks is very simple. Bonte, you and I have had this conversation for years. We talk way too much about the backup.
Yeah.
If the quarterback misses 3 games, can your backup win at minimum 1? Well, right now, Jimmy can win 2 at minimum. He can win 2 of the 3 games if Trey goes down. This is a brilliant, genius move. I give credit to John Lynch. I give credit to Jed York, Parag Marate, because if you don't have a good relationship with an individual, none of this is going down.
There's no doubt. And real quick, let me jump in.
Yeah.
And we talked last Friday, Shasky. You know how I feel about Brock Purdy. You know how I feel about Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah, he stinks.
They both stink. So, yes, they do look better on paper with Jimmy Garoppolo in the quarterback room. But you mentioned the chaos. And look, we should be accustomed to this in San Francisco. I know a lot of people saying Montana Young. This isn't Montana Young. These guys are.
I mean, come on.
Look, pump the brakes. It's more so Alex Smith Kaepernick, if we want to go that route. But it is, you brought up the word chaotic in the circus. We know whenever Trey Lance, if he struggles, and he's not going to get the same leash Jimmy Garoppolo got last season when the Niners dropped to 3-5. We know those cameras are going to pan to Jimmy G, and everybody's going to talk about it and that noise. But I do believe, Shasky, that Trey Lance is mature enough, and he's got the mental capacity to handle a situation like this.
Rory McIlroy came up with a quote yesterday. He was talking about how he got so good to where he is right now. You know how? Playing against better people, playing with competition, iron sharpens iron, baptism in the fire. Why are we walking away from this? Why are we shying away from it? If we believe Trey to be that dude, if you drafted him and you traded all this ammunition to get him, why are we worried about Jimmy Garoppolo breathing down his neck? You know who's going to be breathing down his neck? 888-957-9570 after every single missed pass. Every caller, every fan, every person who's emotionally invested in this organization.
Media members?
Yeah. So what? That comes with the duty. That comes with the obligation of playing quarterback, not just in the NFL, for one of the heralded, most decorated positions in sports. 49er quarterback. I'm not shying away from it. I don't think Trey will. I think it's going to bring the best out of him.
Shasky, number one, I thought you were going to do this from the hot tub, live from the hot tub, but you're not, so just want to get
My
that
hot tub is not installed yet.
Not installed.
Not installed yet. Wow.
I mean, Bonte's going to have like a hot tub clause now in his contract. Anytime that he fills it live, he's going to go from a what?
Layford, the cockiness that is just streaming through the show right now.
I'm building
the arrogance. It's just unbelievable. It's contagious.
I'm building it underground. But what's your reaction though, Shasky, to those saying that this is an indictment on Trey Lance? What's your response to those who believe that it's an indictment on Trey Lance? Because we got a text at the Comcast Business text line, Shasky. They were saying that you're oblivious if you don't think it's an indictment on Trey Lance, and you know my stance on it, man. Like I didn't really want Garoppolo on this team, but I didn't know that he was going to be taking a $19 million pay cut to stay here.
I mean, look, this is more about financial business savvy. I talk about this all the time. Jimmy as a $24 million backup? No one wants that. Jimmy as a $24 million starter being traded for, clearly the league around as a whole said, no, nobody wants him. Now, when you suppress that salary down to $6.5 million and he makes less than what Trey Lance is making right now, there's a clear hierarchy here, guys. Like, this is very cut and dry. Trey's the guy. Jimmy's the backup. It's not the other way around. Look, how is this any different from Joe Flacco backing up Zach Wilson? Like, you want to have a veteran in the quarterback room who, if the starter goes down or if he has prolonged struggles and you got to go to the bullpen, he's there. Look, people that are cemented in the Jimmy camp will not budge off their position.
No doubt.
And those that are cemented in the Trey camp are going to be budged out there. I'm a Niner fan. I want the best 53-man roster, top to bottom. Jimmy G at $6 million as the backup gives you the best roster possible. Why are we arguing this?
You know the voice. You know who he is. It's Joe Shasky the Butcher, live from the Russian River. He's on fire right now at 8:10 in the morning. I had to have him on the show because the Roasters, they demanded to hear from him about this move. They wanted to hear from Shasky and his thoughts on this move by the 49ers. By the way, some breaking news here. The Saints are trading DB Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Philadelphia Eagles after extension talks broke down. This damn player is a good safety in the league. Philadelphia looking stronger in the secondary. Shasky, your thoughts on the way the 49ers handled the situation dating back to the end of the year presser with John Lynch and Shanahan, and when Garoppolo basically said, it's been real, Niner fans. See you when I see you.
It's slow played. They slow played this like they were my wife trying to go to the restaurant of her choice. It's my turn to determine where we're going to eat. And, my wife, we just had Mexican. We just had Chinese. We just had Mediterranean. And then you slow play it, and she gets the pizza that she wants at the end. That's what the Niners did here. They let him bleed out. I'm serious. He looked around the office. I guarantee you, this is an indictment on Don Yee. But they looked around the league, and everyone was like, we like you, Jimmy, but not at $24 million. You got a surgery. You can't throw. Why would we bring you in now? Like, this was about leverage and slow play. The Niners had the leverage, and they slow played this thing out because the calendar was in their favor. And at the very end, with his tail between his legs, Don Yee had to take a $19 million pay cut.
Well, let me throw this at you, though. Let me throw this at you. Did Don Yee and Garoppolo possibly pull a power play on the 49ers and use leverage against them? Because maybe Garoppolo looked around and said, I really don't want to go to Carolina. I really don't want to go to Cleveland. This team is built to win a Super Bowl. I'd rather stick around here, and maybe Trey struggles, I'll get another shot. Sure, I may have to take a pay cut down the line, but this is the best situation for me, and I'm going to go ahead and get the surgery to where I'm untradeable. And then they have to make a big-time decision close to kickoff.
Bonte, it's a fair point, but if I was Jimmy, I'd be sitting here going, Mitch Trubisky's making more than me this year? Mitch Trubisky?
Jimmy's already got He's already got $100 million in the bank.
Your job as an agent is to get the best deal year to year and put you in the situation to win and showcase yourself. Now, in Jimmy's defense, what Mitchell Trubisky did last year was go to Buffalo, not really play at all, and then boom, his value a year later was actually higher than it was the year before. Could that happen with Jimmy? I don't know. But from a 49er business, tactics, financials, from a team building standpoint, Parag gets tons of flowers today. Jimmy is a more tradable asset if need be. He's also under what Trey Lance is getting. So as the owner of the business, Jed York, boy, I would have a hard time writing a check to somebody, not paying him 4 times what my starting quarterback is getting. Now he's making less than him. I think that works better in just the employee dynamic in the locker room. Like, I don't see how this is a bad thing. The Niners have all the leverage here. If Trey gets hurt or if he struggles, you can go to Jimmy. If Jimmy is desired by another team, you can get a pick. Why is this bad? I want the best team possible. I want to win the Super Bowl.
Shasky, I am shocked because I've thrown at you for a long time this offseason. And we all agreed that Jimmy, is he really going to take a pay cut? We didn't think that was possible. But I said, do you want Jimmy? Wrong. And you were just like, I want Jimmy gone out of the locker room. We just had a conversation last Friday after Sudfeld and Brock Purdy stunk it up, and that hype train died. Thank the heavens that died. But everybody's pumped up Brock Purdy. I'm like, it's not the worst thing in the world to have Jimmy. And a lot of our conversations with the roasters and everybody was, let Jimmy walk. We just had Jerry Rice on yesterday. Jerry Rice, hold on real quick. Jerry Rice was on yesterday on this show, and he said, you got to let Jimmy walk. This is Trey's team. You don't need that dynamic in the locker room. So I'm puzzled. I'm shocked. I get you're spot on about everything about the financials, but I'm shocked that you're okay with number 10 being back after all the conversations we've had over the last 3 years.
Look, it's like anything in life. It's about acquisitions, leverage, supply and demand, right? So Jimmy at $24 million? Hell no, I don't want him here, especially when I know I got Nick Bosa's contract coming up. I got to sign this guy, and I can roll the money over from year to year to be able to give him that. I want the best 53-man roster top to bottom. You don't get a Charvarius Ward if you don't have free agent money to be able to spend. You don't be able to extend someone like Deebo Samuel if you don't have good finances. So at $24 million, I'm out. At $6 million, I'm all in, baby.
Wow.
This is about real estate acquisition. This is getting a house that is $1 million under the market value. Jimmy's worth $15 million at minimum. Even the biggest Jimmy G hater would say Jimmy's probably worth about $15 million as a starting quarterback around the league. Yeah, they're making less. Their quarterback room makes less than one quarterback in Carolina.
I know.
This is a genius move by Parag.
So November 1st is the trade deadline, Shasky, and you said that he is a tradable asset, or at least it makes him more of a tradable asset right now.
Absolutely.
But as we're talking about it, though, it doesn't even feel like a trade would be in the cards. Like, if you're up to November 1st, it feels like the only reason you'd trade him is, well, maybe you do get an offer, but also you don't feel like the season is going anywhere, because if you want to keep Jimmy Garoppolo on this team, you want to keep him there as an insurance policy. I don't even see him being traded. I see him being on this team through the rest of the season.
Who cares? Like, I think you let it play out, right? One of the best things to be is flexible, right? Just see where the wind takes you, all right? And be adaptive to the environment. If they need Jimmy, he's there. If someone else needs Jimmy more than the Niners need Jimmy, and they can get something back that's better than a third-round pick, again, as unlikely as that seems, then do it. This has been the weirdest thing I can ever remember.
It's the most bizarre situation,
there is nothing. When I went to camp with you, Steven, and I saw him throwing on the freshman field, as I call it, there's the varsity fields, and then there's the freshman field off to the side. I kept thinking, something is up. This is so weird. I don't get this. Why is he in Niner gear? Why is he throwing to Niner people? Why are they wasting time and resources? I did not believe him adjusting his salary was even in the cards. And the fact that somehow there's a loophole where they get a third-round pick if they play the year out, look, as much as I bash Parag, you got to give him his flowers. And Jed York, look, I've laughed at Jed a variety of times over the years. Jed, you said it. You said you were willing to pay Jimmy G, and you came through. And all I asked from my owner, spend the money, get out of the way. He did that in this situation, and kudos to John Lynch for being a former NFL player to sit down with Don Yee and Jimmy and figure this out. Trent Baalke would have never been able to make this work.
I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. I am so shocked. I'm so shocked about this. Trey Lance, of course, is a starting quarterback. Shanahan, we're going to hear from later. I believe, 10 a.m.? He goes on, he talks to the media before practice, so maybe we'll carry that live on 95.7 The Game.
I'll say this for Shasky, though. Shasky was turning around on the idea of possibly keeping Jimmy as a backup. He was getting to it. Yeah, I believe you talked about it when you were in Paris, Bonte.
Did he really?
Yeah.
You guys didn't tell me that.
You said, I'm turning around on it.
Well, you didn't tell me that because
it was called change of heart. It was called a change of heart. I said, I had a change of heart, and I said, if you could rework a 2-year deal, which sounds very unlikely, I would probably do it. Bonte, what is the downside of having a guy who can come in and win 2 out of 3 games?
No. It's not that. It's that we had this conversation and you were ready to literally rip my head off. Veins were popping out of your neck with the thought of Jimmy Garoppolo being back on this roster. So this change of heart happened when I was gone.
Yes.
And then when I came back,
I'm a more
it was
sane
back.
man without you.
Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And this is a microcosm. Hold on. This is a microcosm of what the 2022 NFL season is going to be like this year. It's going to be a roller coaster. Last year was nothing compared to what we're about to embark on starting on 9/11 in Chicago.
I feel like this is the end of a Scooby-Doo thriller where someone's ripping off the mask. I got you little kids. And it was Parag all along working in the shadows like he's the emperor. I cannot believe they got Jimmy to not only not get traded, reduce his salary, stay here, and now they get the best of both worlds. The leverage to trade him if need be, or you just keep him. Like, sometimes the best moves are the ones you don't need to make. In this situation, I'm telling you, Don Yee whiffed here. This is a huge Niner acquisition.
I disagree with that. I think Don Yee knows that this is the best situation for Jimmy Garoppolo. He goes to Carolina, you're not winning a damn thing. You're lost in the shuffle. You're going to struggle. You go to Seattle behind 2 rookie offensive tackles, and they may be really good one day. That's a disaster waiting to happen for his client. He goes to Cleveland in that division with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You see their defense and the Baltimore Ravens with all their healthy guys coming back, and the Cincinnati Bengals. That is not the most ideal situation for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Don Yee was like, look, we need to stick in San Francisco. We've already got him under the wood. We already got $100 million from this team, from this organization. You've made a ton of money, and you have another chance to win, to cash in on another big-time contract. I think this is the best situation for Jimmy Garoppolo. So I think Don Yee actually did it a solid. The $18 million that they gave away with the restructured contract, hey, it's water under the bridge. It's water under the bridge because if Jimmy Garoppolo plays this year and he wins, you know the tide is going to turn quickly. Get Jimmy back in.
Have to win. He doesn't even have to win. I told you, Mitchell Trubisky didn't win. He didn't do anything but hold the clipboard last year, and he went from like a $8-9 million salary, or I think he was on a 3-year deal, a $3 million deal in Buffalo, to like a $17 million deal without throwing a meaningful pass. He could just stand there and be a good soldier, and someone will give him a 1-year deal. I think long-term deals for the rest of his career, that's out the window. He's a year-to-year guy from here on out, but that's neither here nor there.
Maybe, not if he wins.
For them,
not if he wins. Somebody give him a 2-year, 3-year deal. He's still young enough.
Okay, we can argue about that till we're blue in the face. Right now, Trey Lance needs to play well. And I love that they're holding him accountable with this. And I think that this gives them a nice safety net. I don't see what the downside is. And if the guy is so emotionally fragile, well, then you drafted the wrong guy. Period. You've been competing your whole life. All right? And somebody's in there. You tried to compete last year. Did Jimmy Garoppolo fold? No. We got the best out of him come week 18. I expect the same thing to happen with Trey Lance. And this is also on Shanahan.
I do agree with that. If Trey Lance can't handle this situation, he's not the guy. However, think about how difficult it must be for him. When Deebo Samuel said, I had a career year catching passes from Jimmy Garoppolo. George Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo was my guy. He was my guy. That locker room loved Jimmy. And with the reports now, Michael Silver wrote a column today in the Chronicle saying that Trey Lance was so up and down in training camp. Maybe the 49ers brass is like, oh, we don't know about this one. This is a tough spot. No matter what, he could be the mentally strongest guy in the world.
Of course.
It's not Jimmy. Jimmy had to handle it, but he had those guys behind him because Trey Lance was a rookie. Trey Lance is an unproven second-year quarterback with Jimmy breathing down his neck, and you know Jimmy wants to play. And that locker room knows, dating back to 2019, they've won a lot of big games with Jimmy Garoppolo, a lot of big games, and they've been in a lot of big games with number 10. This is not an easy spot for Trey.
Oh, no doubt. But it's a hell of a lot easier than being the New York Jets quarterback. It's a hell of a lot easier than maybe being the Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback. Look, there is a tremendous amount of pressure. There's no doubt about it. I will not dismiss that. But in terms of putting you in a position to succeed as a young quarterback, I'll take a little Jimmy G breathing down my neck as opposed to every defensive lineman in the backfield, every snap of my career is Trevor Lawrence. Like, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you would love to have that long leash. How'd that work for Alex Smith early in his career? How's that work for a lot of young quarterbacks? When you go to a crappy team, like, I'm sorry, the Joe Burrow story is amazing because it's so unique. Most fail because the settings around them stink. Trey has an opportunity to succeed because of the depth of the 53-man roster. Jimmy shouldn't be breathing down his neck, affecting him at all. And again, if it does, then they probably picked the wrong guy.
I mean, Shasky, to me, like when I'm thinking about it, it doesn't feel like there's any downside as far as right now. Like the only things that I'm thinking about, and whenever I'm trying to, come up with all these different angles and thinking about this, at a certain standpoint, like, all of it is based on if, which I don't think is fair on Trey. Like, a lot of it is just based on, well, if Trey struggles, if they do this, if they do that. Like, personally, I think the biggest if is if Trey does struggle and they bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, and then let's just say they go to the NFC Championship or even the Super Bowl. I mean, if that happens, like, I don't think it's going to be as simple as, oh, yeah, they're just going to let him test free agency in 2023.
Oh, my gosh.
But that's the biggest if. And like you said, you got to wait till the season starts.
Let me ask you guys this. I don't know the answer to this.
Right.
But when Philadelphia had Carson Wentz, a young ascending quarterback who was like an MVP candidate.
Yep.
He goes down late in the year. Nick Foles comes in. Are they regretting any? Like, honest to God, they want their Super Bowl. That's what I want.
No,
I don't care how it gets done.
Well, you know me, my best friend's from Philly, the Philly Zoo. And a lot of people in Philadelphia, because Carson Wentz got hurt the next year. Foles was in the playoffs. Alshon Jeffrey drops a pass in the second round against the Saints. A lot of people in Philadelphia regret that move because Baldy. It's funny you bring that up because Baldy was just on
what
and he
move?
brought
What move?
Nick Foles. They wanted to keep Nick Foles around. A lot of people in Philadelphia, and in the minute.
But do they regret the Super Bowl? Is what I'm saying?
Oh, hell no!
What happened
it's
after?
their first ever Super Bowl. Hell no, they don't regret the Super Bowl.
Who cares how you get it done? I don't care if you're Jim Hostetler replacing Phil Simms. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Get the Super Bowl. I'll worry about the offseason and the offseason. This is about putting together the most comprehensive, deep team that you can. And I think mission accomplished.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. This is wild. Honestly, the news broke yesterday. I just, in my wildest dreams, after what we saw in SoFi Stadium with Jimmy Garoppolo in the playoffs and all the bashing we've all done it. Because I believe Jimmy Garoppolo in my lifetime has been the most underappreciated 49er in my lifetime. The most underappreciated 49er in my lifetime. I just can't believe he's back. After all this stuff, after all the word salads we heard from everybody. Look, it's a great move at the end of the day, I'm with you. It's a great move for the 49ers to have him as a backup as opposed to Nate Sudfeld and Brock Purdy. But we know what we're getting into when the season starts.
Agreed. Totally agree. For all of the people out there that were doing Brockmania, Brock and roll.
Oh, my gosh.
Look in the mirror. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to take a nice cold shower, and I want you to evaluate where your life is right now. The fact that you were opining over the cutting of Brock Purdy. Wow. Like, seriously. Seriously. Because I was that guy with Nick Mullins.
You're unbelievable, my
I was ready to Brock and roll all night and Purdy every day.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, can I be honest, though, guys?
Yeah.
As much as we're like going crazy, and look, it's the top story, no doubt about it. As much as we're going crazy about the quarterback, I'm red flagging the Deebo Samuel thing.
There's no doubt.
I'm very, very, very worried. No synergy with Trey Lance.
Yep.
Didn't work with him all offseason. Bonte, you've highlighted his injury history for the last 3 years, and it's accurate and fair to question it. And now he's got the back of the knee bone bruise. I'm very worried that we sunk a ton of money into this guy. And again, I'm watching him wide receiver drills. He's a football player.
Yeah.
But as a wide receiver, I'm red flagging him.
Dude.
I think he's actually going to take more running back snaps than I originally thought. I was like, wait till November and December. No. To me, use it all up. I don't care how you got to get the best out of Deebo. From day one till the end of the season, use him however you need to.
Well, that's why I always thought that Brandon Ayuk is a better route runner than Deebo Samuel. He's a better pure wide receiver than Deebo Samuel. Deebo's a playmaker. But
exactly.
When I don't see separation on go routes, when I hear him talking about, me and Trey couldn't link up in the offseason, we talk about Jimmy Garoppolo ghosting the organization. I can't have my star wide receiver ghosting my second-year quarterback. That was a red flag to me, and yes, he is getting monitored, no doubt about that. Shasky, go enjoy vacation. We love you, buddy. That was 27 minutes of straight hot fire. We'll talk to you next week, man.
I love you guys, and if anyone needs to seek help, it's me because I'm supposed to be on vacation.
Yeah,
Steven,
you are.
Hold
You
it
are.
down.
Hit him straight,
no
baby.
doubt. Go have some barbecue, man. Tell
Yeah,
Shaq to
Healdsburg
butcher.
today.
Oh, look at this guy. He's flexing. More coming up. Sparky, Bobby, David, Coach, Danker. We're all getting to you on the other side. And that's coming up, sponsored by Fremont Bank. Full service banking, no compromises.
Hey, Becky, what about this beat for your next song?
It's cool, but I'm into faster stuff lately. Like Xfinity that gives me beyond gig speeds.
Got it. What about this then?
It sounds powerful, just like Xfinity. Because its supersonic Wi-Fi has 3 times the bandwidth, you can connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's what I call power.
Unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Made to do anything so you can do anything.
Get the Xfinity Supersonic Bundle with unlimited gig speed internet, Wi-Fi equipment included, and a free 4K streaming box. All for $50 a month with a 2-year internet rate guarantee and no annual contract when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New Gigabit Extra internet customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes wireless usage. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Requires compatible Xfinity gateway.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking Account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Breathe new life into life at home with IKEA Festival. 10 topics, one purpose. To get more out of the homes we love. What are you passionate about? Art? Dance? Music? Food? Fur babies? Get inspired, create, and share with us. With celebrations, giveaways, IKEA family offers, and live streams with expert advice. It's all happening at IKEA Festival. Join us from August 26th through September 10th online or at your local IKEA store. Learn more at IKEA-USA.com.
T-Mobile believes customers deserve to get more without paying more. Everything from entertainment benefits like Netflix on Us, to travel benefits, to Scam Shield protection, all with taxes and fees included. So the price you see is the price you pay. When you're a T-Mobile customer, you get over $225 in value every month in benefits with our Max Family Plan.
That's like paying for nosebleed seats and getting to sit in the front row.
That's right. At T-Mobile, your family gets over $225 worth of value and benefits with our Max Plan each and every month. Plus, with our Price Lock Guarantee, we won't raise your rate plan price for talk, text, and data ever.
That's like paying for a cab and getting a stretch limo.
At T-Mobile, you get value beyond the expected.
Qualifying service required. Value based on included monthly benefits. Sales tax and regulatory fees included in Max's monthly price. Price Lock guarantees rate price of talk, text, and data for new accounts with qualifying service. Exclusions apply. See details at T-Mobile.com.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Okay, you know those amazing spots only the true San Francisco locals are in on? Like that place with the square pizzas? Or Mama Hoo-Hoo, the spot for sweet and sour chicken that's anything but so-so. Oh, order up! You know, with the Granch dressing. And all the other spots the real SF locals know without us even saying them. Yeah, they're on DoorDash. San Francisco gets it. DoorDash has it.
Why do we find popping bubble wrap so satisfying?
Why do we say boop when we touch somebody's nose? Boop? Why do we turn anything and everything into drums?
Honey, I need those pots to start dinner.
Why do we sing in the shower?
I'm taking a shower.
And outside the shower.
This conference call is boring.
Rick, you are not on mute.
Why? For the same reason we play scratchers from the California Lottery. Because a little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
In Walnut Creek today, a mild 85 degrees.
Weather brought to you by the Odyssey app.
Did you know you can get your local news, traffic, and weather for free on the Odyssey app? Download the Odyssey app so you're always a tap away from the news you need to keep you moving throughout your day.
Now batting, Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with incredibly fast and powerful supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers all the bases, and then some. And strike out billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you safe at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Man, what a show. This has flown by. Flown by.
We got an entire regular season of this, Bonte.
We didn't get to. Yeah, we do. We do. And we have a lot of sound that we didn't even get to. I mean, what was the point? We know what happened. We know what went down. I mean, Jimmy's back. In case you missed it, yesterday at 2:22 p.m., Adam Schefter, ESPN, tweeted out that Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers have agreed to a restructured deal where he's going to get paid $6.5 million with a no-trade clause. He's going to be free to leave after the season. Now, the no-trade clause, you can work around that. November 1st comes around the trade deadline. Niners and Jimmy are not happy with the partnership. Jimmy sees a chance and an opportunity to play somewhere else after a quarterback goes down. He'll waive that no-trade clause in a heartbeat to go play. Now, that's if he's not starting by then because Trey's struggling. So, he's back. Jimmy Garoppolo's back. We're all shocked about it, and we're all talking about it today. With the 53-man roster supposed to be set at 1 p.m. West Coast time, who's going to get cut, whether it's Trey Sermon, defensive linemen, safeties, or the Niners going to bring back Jaquiski Tartt. There's a lot going on here.
What is happening with Jason Poe? That's my number one question.
What is going on? Is there going to be some trades made? Are they going to trade some guys? Are they going to trade for players? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But the big story of the day is Jimmy Garoppolo coming back after we all thought he was long gone, working on the side field, leaving the facility before the team went on the practice field, not really talking to people not really talking to him, saying, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Hey, that's good. He's throwing on the side field. But he's back. He's back. And we'll hear from Shanahan. Lutman, do me a favor. Find out when Shanahan is speaking today. Find out when he's speaking today because I want to make sure everybody's tuned in for that. Whenever Kyle Shanahan is talking, because we're going to get a lot of hopefully, we get a lot of answers from it. But at the end of the day, I agree with everybody. Having Jimmy on the roster makes the 49ers better.
Well, let's just ask a question then. From Kyle Shanahan, what do you want to hear today? Like, what do you want to hear him clarify? Because my number one thing is I want to know how long this has been in play. I want to know, have they thought about this throughout the entire time? Like, there's the option of keeping Jimmy around. Did you think that he was going to be gone? Like, I'm really curious to see how that, and how maybe Kyle Shanahan can answer those questions, but I'm curious.
I really believe that they watched that Houston Texans game. They watched that Houston Texans game and said, oh boy, if Trey goes down with the way this offensive line is, we have to go to Sudfeld and Brock Purdy? Oh my gosh. We're going to have to mail the season in like 2018 when they had to go to Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard.
Right.
We know how that story ended. We know how that story was written once Jimmy Garoppolo went down in Week 3 against Kansas City in 2018. So I don't think they wanted to be in that situation anymore.
Well, it did. It did garner you Nick Bosa, though.
It did get you Nick Bosa. You
can't just pass that up.
I'm not going to pass that up. But heck, they passed up watching the Mahomes. Look, man.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
I just don't believe that Trey Lance is going to get the same leash that Jimmy Garoppolo got last season because he's a second-year quarterback as opposed to Jimmy Garoppolo being a veteran quarterback. But look, we're going to see how this plays out, man. Let's go to the fans. Let's go to the roasters. The lines are lit right now. Texts are off the chain.
Whoa.
YouTube is moving like a slot machine.
I didn't have the phone lines open, and I just opened them. I didn't realize we had full lines lit.
Yeah, no. Let's start off with Sparky in Alameda. Sparky, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Good morning, fellas. And yeah, what a good day for the 49ers, for some fans. And what a terrible day, because you mentioned something earlier that Jimmy G is one of the most underappreciated quarterbacks there is. And I totally agree with that. I think he's been still way too many times, been too close to a championship. And definitely they need that roster to have the OG calling the shots, because that's what the Niners need. They need the motivation. And tell me if I'm wrong.
All right. There's so many, is it because of the offensive line? Is it because of the backup quarterback situation? Is it because they don't believe Trey Lance is ready? All those things might be true. I don't have the answer to that. But the answers will be revealed as the season plays out, Langford.
We just got notification that he will be on a conference call today at 11:45.
Conference call? No video?
No video, I suppose.
Are you kidding me?
A conference call is what I'm hearing.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Conference call?
No, I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I want to continue to get to these callers, Bonte.
Yeah, no.
I know, right?
Damn. 11:45.
He does not want to, look, if Shanahan were showing himself on camera, I think he'd be disheveled. He doesn't want to answer questions about Jimmy ever again. I've never seen a man hate certain questions more than Kyle Shanahan. Like Bill Belichick. You've heard Bill Belichick before talking about quarterbacks.
Well, Bill Belichick, he was in WEEI the other day on the Greg Hill show with Jermaine Wiggins and company. And Belichick, hey, man, how long do you think you're going to be doing this? I'm just focused on Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, Belichick, how's practice been going? Oh, yeah, practice has been good, but our attention's on Miami. So Belichick is in peak form.
Yeah. Well, also, if you want to see Belichick happy, just go search up on Twitter, Belichick and
Chris Berman.
When Berman showed up, Boomer,
looking good.
What
looking good.
Anyway.
Oh, man.
But no, I do want to get back to the college, but real quick, just to, because we kind of just passed this up, but, we've been asking the question a lot about which teams in the NFC should the 49ers, keep an eye on. Which are the teams they should fear? Obviously, the Rams are right up there as Super Bowl champions. The Buccaneers are there because, they have Tom Brady. But, man, you talked about that move that the Eagles just made on defense. CJ Gardner-Johnson, they got a really good roster. They got a damn good roster. I mean, the only question is the quarterback with Jalen Hurts. I think that's going to be a team to watch out for in the NFC.
A.J. Brown, they look like a playoff team.
Yeah.
They look like a playoff team.
Devontae Smith on the other side.
Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor in the slot.
Yeah.
Quez Watkins is pretty good. And the Saints just received a 5th-round pick in 2023 and possibly, and the worst of the Eagles' 2 second-round picks or 6th-round picks in 2024. Saints received the Eagles' 5th-round pick in 2023 and the worst of their 2 6th-round picks in 2024. That's a hell of a deal for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
That dude's a baller.
Yeah, man.
A baller. Man, Eagles looking good.
But the Niners are looking good too, man. They got a really good roster. When you look at the NFC, there are not a lot of teams that you point to and say, yeah, that roster can compete with the 49ers roster.
No doubt.
I mean, the pressure was already on Trey Lance in those terms. Now with Jimmy Garoppolo, there's the pressure is increased, but I think Lance can live up to it.
Yeah, let's go to Bobby in Oakland. Bobby, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, man, what a whirlwind, right?
Oh, my gosh.
Never would imagine Jimmy getting back, but I'm a Trey guy, and I want to see Trey lock this down. I do want to see him lock down, make it almost impossible for Jimmy. But realistically, it's going to take at least a year for him to kind of really get used that speed of the game. So now that you got Jimmy back there, I think it's less pressure from this standpoint. That if it was just Nate Sudfeld and Brock back there and
right.
got pulled, it would have looked worse. But now they got Jimmy. He can save face. If you have to learn for the rest of the year and come back next year, I hope that doesn't happen. But I think it's best for all parties. Plus, you get that pick at the end of next year. So it was a genius move. I'm okay with it. I think it's going to help a chance for the Super Bowl.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's continue to roll with the calls, Langford here. Let's go to David in San Jose. David, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning. About this situation with the quarterbacks. I mean, I don't want to make it about Jimmy G thing or Trey Lance thing, West Side. I just think, my concern is just, the Niners made a huge investment, obviously, in Trey Lance, giving up a lot of picks. And, right now, to still have questions, at the QB position, it's a bit concerning to go along with, like you brought up Debo. You made a great point about that in the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
This is a championship-made team.
Yep.
And, I know Jimmy's had some success. I mean, in my opinion, he's unproven as well. Let's keep it real, because there's a reason they made that move to get Trey Lance, because they had questions. So, can he come in and win a few games? Sure, of course. He has, 30 wins underneath his belt? I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah, would he be a great backup at any team? Sure. But right now, just stand back and look at the big picture. I mean, those 3 picks, you could have, who knows, maybe Aaron Rodgers. You could have used those assets on anything else. Did you use it on Trey Lance and still have questions? That's a big concern.
David, a good call. And that's what I don't know. Is it because Trey Lance is not ready? Is it because of the offensive line? And you need insurance in case Trey gets hurt behind this offensive line? Is it because of the backup quarterback position? Is it because nobody wanted Jimmy and the Niners say, you know what, we can get him at a reduced rate, and we know if we need to, we can insert him and win games? I have no clue what variable went into this decision, what the variables were in this decision. It feels like a last-ditch effort saying, oh, man, we know the date's coming. We just saw Purdy. We saw Sudfeld. Boy, we're screwed if Trey Lance gets hurt. Maybe we bring Jimmy back. Maybe it's because Trey's not ready. And Michael Silver wrote in his column today with the Chronicle, basically saying that Trey had an up-and-down training camp. Now you hear all these different things about Trey Lance. But, hell, Jimmy Garoppolo, we've watched him in practice. He don't look any better. So Langford, I don't know. I don't have the answer. But the answer will be revealed over the course of this season. We're going to find out a lot more about what's going on. Then you have the locker room dynamic. How's the locker room going to feel? Brad Graham, our boy Brad Graham from SF Niners made the point. Nobody's tweeted about the situation with the Niners, the players. Nobody's done anything on social media. Usually when the guy resigns, hey, man, welcome to the squad. Yeah. Niner Empire was good. Nobody's tweeted anything. IG, nothing.
There's going to be something, though.
It's been radio silent from Santa Clara since this move.
A couple of things. It's really a national story. Like, when this broke, everybody was talking about it.
What?
Like, this just hasn't been a Niners story in Bay Area centric. We're just focusing on it here in the Bay Area. Like, this was a national thing. Rita Oak, shout out to Rita Oak, who's been drawing Jimmy G every day since basically he was supposed to be either traded or let go. Shout out to her. She is making it national now. It feels like everyone's talking about Rita Oak and what she's doing. That's number one. But also, number two, like, at the very base of it, Jimmy G's your backup. Trey Lance is your starter. You should feel good about that. I feel great. You should feel great. But when the mind starts to wander a little bit, I'm just thinking very worst case scenario. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. Right. Okay? Let me just preface it with that.
It's a hypothetical.
This is a hypothetical. Massive worst case hypothetical. The worst thing you could think of, Debo, loves Jimmy. I think Debo loves Jimmy.
He does. And you know what? Debo don't get a lot of passes from Trey Lance. Debo showed me a side to him this offseason in which he acted a bit immature.
Who's the wide receiver that we think is going to thrive with Trey?
Brandon Ayuk.
What if it gets to a point in the season where Debo doesn't feel like he's getting enough receptions, Brandon Ayuk's getting all the shine, then Debo's like calling for Jimmy, wants Jimmy to start, then all of a sudden him and Brandon Ayuk are clashing, locker room turbulence. What is going on?
Well, that's another thing with Debo Samuel, because he showed his ass this offseason. Let's just call it what it is. He showed his ass. What he did was unprofessional. It was immature. And I love Debo Samuel probably more than anybody at this station. I wanted Debo to be a 49er when he entered the NFL draft.
Debo.
But he showed his ass this offseason with the unfollowing and, the Niner thing. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm out, and I want to trade this and that. Well, he got his money.
Right.
He got his money. And it's cool. But now you got a bone bruise in the back of the knee. You're not getting a lot of separation. Shasky just joined us. Shasky told me, he wasn't getting separation in drills and practice.
Right.
So I got a microscope on Debo Samuel, and if Trey Lance is balling with Brandon Ayuk, and Debo's not getting the touches, because remember, he's top 19 on a top 100 players list, and those players take that seriously. Debo wants to ball out like he did last season. And if he's not getting the stats and he's not producing the way he did last season, there's no doubt I believe Debo may start to chirp a little bit or may start to show some diva tendencies. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But what I saw from Debo Samuel this offseason, I did not like, man. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough because I even though he got his money, we kind of just put it off to the side. But I do believe there was something happening there as to why he didn't sign that contract. Everyone was saying, well, this is what the 49ers do. You know, they did it with Kittle. They did it with Trent Williams. Well, it was a little different with those situations because you heard other reports. You didn't hear anything in regards to Williams and Kittle. It seemed like it was smooth sailing and they were going to get their money.
Right. This one was rocky.
This one was, you know, you're watching the draft wondering, man, is there going to be a trade here? Is there going to be a trade with a certain team? Are the Jets going to be in on this? Like, what's going to happen? So I do think there was something there. And injury to the back of the knee. Someone on YouTube, the YouTube chat's just popping, so I don't actually have the name. I'm sorry. I want to attribute this to the right person. But they're like, what the F is it? How the F do you bruise the back of your knee?
Yeah.
And I totally agree. I don't understand that at all. The back of the knee. Is there a name for the back of the knee?
Look, Jimmy Garoppolo being here makes the 49ers better. But I'm also very, very surprised that he's coming back as a 49er. I'm very surprised. I can't believe it came down to this. I can't. Wow. Let's go back to the lines here before we get to the flex moment of the show. We'll get to everybody on the line here. Let's start off with Danker in the city. Danker, what's happening?
What's up, boys? I think we all just got to cool our jets. This has been the only situation for Jimmy. No team wanted him, especially injury-prone quarterback coming off of surgery. And I think the Niners won here because it might have been a circumstance where we had to cut him and just get nothing. So now we have him. It's a trade-friendly contract. And I think once you see a QB go down, Jimmy's gone. You know, and if people are worried about the line, and Trey Lance had a problem with the line, you really think Jimmy's going to do something? Unless Jimmy had bionic legs, installed in the offseason, good luck. So,
well, Jimmy does have a quick release though.
That is an interesting talking point though. Like once you see that offensive line, I think you're going to get a pretty good idea of how they perform. Like by the time if again, it's all predicated on if they end up making the change to Jimmy, you'll probably know what the offensive line is made of. I am curious to see what it's like. We don't actually know. I mean, we can take whatever we want from preseason and think it carries over, but the offensive line could change. You never know.
The fact is, when Jimmy's in the lineup, the 49ers won a lot of games. Those are the facts. Those are the facts.
And that was Jay LaFrey on YouTube who had that comment with Debo's knee. Wanted to get that right.
Yeah, Jay LaFrey, good YouTuber. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Twitch. Don't forget to download the Odyssey app. We'll get to the rest of the calls. Coach, we're coming up next. Download the Odyssey app, 95.7 The Game, thousands of other stations, and millions of podcasts are free on the Odyssey app. Sports talk, music, news, and podcasts are all available completely free. You can catch every Warriors game live on the app, along with all the music and news the Bay Area needs. Follow your favorite teams, stations, radio shows, and podcasts now by downloading the free Odyssey app. Coach, what's happening? Los Altos. What's your thoughts on Jimmy being back here? You're a season ticket holder. Jimmy back, you approve?
Oh yeah. I think this is an unbelievably good thing to wake up to in the morning. For a number of reasons, Bonte. Number one, when you add Trey's average salary, which I think is about 8.5, and his average salary of 6.5, that's 15. That's less than half the quarterbacks for one quarterback in the NFL. And we're talking about, guys up there like, I think Baker Mayfield's making like 15.3.
Yeah.
So we get two quarterbacks for the price of one. I mean, number one, that's perfect. Number two, I don't think he's going anywhere. I'm with Langford. I think he's going to play it out. Now, if a team gets desperate, I think we get a third-round compensatory pick if he walks next year. That means they're going to have to come with the second round, better than a third round, a second round and a player, whatever, to get us to move him. Otherwise, why would we move him? We keep him through the season. He's got playoff experience, and if he walks next year, we get the compensatory pick. And then finally, and I haven't heard anybody talk about this, we brought in that former Panther lineman for a workout, he's a guard, I forget his name, to take a look. And I wonder if this freed up money allows us, do you convince J.C. Treader to come out of retirement or even Alex Mack, to help fix the interior line? And then finally, Shasky went on. He was on fire this morning. and he took my iron sharpens iron. But here's one. Great men are forged in fire. It is the privilege of lesser men to light the flames. And that's the War Doctor from Doctor Who. So I think we have the opportunity to make Lance better. I think he's a tough, smart, competitive kid with great parents. I think this is only going to make him better. This is a great day for Niner Nation.
Wow. Coach in Los Altos Hills.
You said you said you get 2 quarterbacks for the price of one. If you combine Trey Lance and Jimmy and what they're making right now, they'd be the 16th highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
I know, that's insane. I think Darnold's making, how much is Darnold making? Like 14? He's still on that rookie deal, I believe.
Yes, he is. Just this year he's making 7.5. So
7.5. Okay.
Yeah, just this year.
So he's making a little bit more to Jimmy Garoppolo,
and that's his base salary. That's not taking the bonuses into account and everything surrounding that.
Panthers right guard John Miller was the guard who worked out.
Oh, John Miller,
for the 49ers. John Miller, not the broadcaster for the Giants. John Miller, the guard, right guard.
Maybe they could use the broadcaster for the Giants, John Miller, on that offensive line. You never know.
Can he pull? Can he run a counter? Can he run a stretch play?
Trey Lance throws a deep ball. Adios, pelota.
That's well played.
Boom.
Daniel in San Ramon, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, guys? I know that everybody's talking about how the money is good, the roster looks better on paper, but the most important factor of the whole season rides on Trey Lance and his success. And I feel like we got to back up his mentals. I mean, for the past couple of years, everybody championed Jimmy G. Kittle championed Jimmy G. Everybody was behind Jimmy G. Now it's kind of like you got the ex-girlfriend in the room.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of awkward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, how you going to have the new girlfriend and the ex-girlfriend? Some dude's going to like the ex-girlfriend. Some dude's going to like the new girlfriend. I just don't think it makes for good unity, and I don't think it's going to be good for Lance. He's a young quarterback. You want to give him all the confidence and the support he needs, and I just don't think this is a right move for Trey Lance. That's all I got, guys.
Daniel, good call. And I don't know what's going to happen in this locker room. The locker room last year, it was weird. It was weird through 8-9 weeks when you got Trey Lance coming in for Jimmy Garoppolo, especially in Detroit. And then you see him coming on the field. Then he's starting, and he's taking these little snaps. And then after a while, Shanahan was like, Jimmy's our guy. We're going to roll with him. And he had that big game in Chicago, back in his hometown, which is funny that the Niners playing in Chicago week 1 back in Jimmy's hometown. But that's when he solidified that job. And the locker room kind of galvanized around Jimmy, and he was a captain of that team, but it was murky. It was murky those first couple months, man.
Or did we make it weird?
Nah, I thought it was a little weird.
Look, personally, I think one of the strengths of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and what they've done, and, we equate this to what the Warriors have done and contrast it to what the Giants are doing. It feels like their locker room is pretty stable. Like, I don't think something like this is going to cause too much of a commotion. I told you, I gave you the worst case scenario in my mind. Is Debo doesn't feel like he's getting enough targets. Brandon Ayuk's getting all the targets. Debo wants Jimmy to start. Ayuk wants Trey to start. And then, there's some infighting there. But that's a worst case scenario hypothetical. That's probably not going to happen.
The Niners did basically say they moved on from Jimmy. This was Trey's team.
It's crazy.
And that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around.
See ya.
But remember, you could pick apart what they said, saying, hey, they see a situation where Jimmy may be back. A month ago, it was, we're moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo. Now he's back. Now he's back.
Man, we've had 2 callers today say they haven't heard about this till this morning.
That's funny. Imagine that.
Took over my life yesterday.
Imagine that.
My entire Tuesday, my August 29th was solely dedicated to Jimmy G after 2:22 p.m.
Before we get to the flex, let's get to our main man, Adam in San Francisco. Let's finish strong, Adam. You're on the roast.
Thanks for having me. I think of this in 2 ways. I think there's a little bit of an overreaction because I think this is just all set up for him to get traded. Teams are going to be willing a lot more to take on $6.5 million than the R24. That number looks a lot better. If it is the case, though, that we are keeping him as a backup, I understand Brock Purdy and Sudfeld weren't that good. If Trey goes down, this team is done for, whereas if now that you have Jimmy as a backup, you give yourself a chance to win if that were to be the case and if that were to happen. But one of my friends has made the point now that this has happened. However this ends, it's like, if Jimmy ends up staying on this team for the year, you guys wasted last year's draft. Trey's the future, blah, blah, blah. But then last year, where you were originally in the draft, you could have picked someone like Micah Parsons. So keeping him long-term doesn't make sense in sense of, what you could have done to this team. But I think it's just a move to get him to get traded. I really do. So we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Shanahan, conference call, 11:45 conference call. Wish it was like a presser, but it's just a conference call, so we're going to have to wait on everybody's quotes from the beat writers to see what Shanahan has to say about him. But I really wanted to see the facial reactions to all the questions that Shanahan was going to have to face today.
Boy, do I love reading transcripts.
Yeah, nothing better.